I want you and that young man to tie that knot. I'm gonna pray for you. And I want you to hold on to God's unchanging hand, because he helped Joshua fight the battle of Jericho. Yes.
It's the old
He helped Daniel get out the lion's den. He helped get off the island.
Let me get straight to the business. Got them lions in the building. Why you lying to the children? Why you lying to the children? RIGHTEOUS. Man, you know I've been to bed. Man, they know no contest. Yahuwah, he do the bless. We will not see you tomorrow. Cause you cannot go to thought. All the sons and all the daughters. Standing all with big manodas. But my son, he made me Taurus. On that line, I'm still a Taurus. Karate kicking Chuck Norris, 4-5 on my waist. If he started, will not hesitate to get retarded. Oh lordy, he ain't got a PowerPoint, he farted. He's running to the hills like a Philistine. G-Hawk hitting Hamites with the guillotine. Situation turned up with the ratchet team. JJ 7000 to the bait lead. Yeah, I know them haters gon' hate me, but he won't debate me. Pistol off safety. He respond, come wake me. If I don't get up, nigga shake me. If he don't show up, then he fake G. I touch down and make these nigga nuts hate me. Dear brother. Ballin' and crawling all the way from H-Time. Let me get straight to the business. Man, them lions in the building. Why you lying to them children? Why you lying to them children? You gon' cry, you gon' get it. Me, I'm like a frog, nigga, ribbit. Of course, it's in the spirit. I just got the Porsche, she can steer it. Mito got the raw, Shaq and Willie. Lamborghini doors, you better not spill it. Mama's high, say I'm more than just a villain. Mama's cry, arms open wide for her children. Suicide, immortalized as the realest, Death by cop, black suicide. Let me get straight to the business. Got them lions in the building. Why you lying to them children? Why you lying to them children? RIGHTEOUS. Man, you know I've been there. Man, they know they no contest. Yahuwah, he do the Wow, what's that? Why didn't take it over? Number one debate league, you heard me? When it's up, it's stuck. I'm setting on everything, nigga. Metaphorically, of course.
Lions is in the building. Get up. That's right. Come on into the den, everybody. Grab a paper, grab a pen. We're going to let the scholars get it in. Y'all hear me? That's right, man. Hey, it was a bad day for atheists. It was a bad day for these evolutionists, these goddamn pseudo killers or whatever they want to call themselves, man, because they got their. Hey, you know what Nas did to Jay-Z? This was 5 times worse. It was an ether upon ether upon ether upon ether. You hear me, ladies and gentlemen, man? My name is JJ 7000, the most feared debater on this goddamn planet. Sit your ass down, because I know you can't stand it. That's right. Shout out to my queen, Jenny Hayes, man. You know, I still love you, girl. But, yeah, man, me and Indigenous, you know, the dynamic duo, you know, went on the road, kicked ass and take names later. You know, they've been getting away with a lot of bullshit for a long time, ladies and gentlemen. You hear me? Before we get into the meat and potatoes stuff, I got to introduce the queen of the lions. I'm talking about Sister Reba. Go ahead, queen. Yeah.
You already know what to do. If you like the information that's presented, please hit that like, subscribe, share, whatever is Karen. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, you know, man. You know the people's champ. You know, when I go on the road, man, we go in hostile territory, and we, you know, hey, Lions Den. Hey, we not debaters, we terminators, leaving their brains upon the table. We just sit back and let them pick it up. You know, whatever Neo said, it was close to the one. But yeah, man, Hey, them guys would never get in front of the community again with this goddamn pseudo judo. You hear me? Up here pushing this goddamn Charles Darwin and George Lamenius and all these old weird goddamn Caucasians up there talking about, look, they species of all, look, the human race is a whole bunch of different species, right? And one of the species evolved more than any other man or mankind on the planet. And guess who it was? That's right, Pinky, Whitey, the man. That's right, y'all. They done put them up a pedestal. Then we got these clowns like Uncle West. Uncle West. You ain't Uncle West no more. You're Uncle Tom West. That's what your name is. That's right. Sitting up here, every time you get in front of the goddamn camera, you're talking about some goddamn, what's his name? What's that guy name? Charles Darwin. Yeah, Chuck Darwin and all this old madness. And it's embarrassing. It really is. I mean, for a black man to promote this nonsense, and you just imagine your first time reading the book, and then you go to page 88 or whatever page is on. I'm not saying that's the exact page, and it says that you, as a black man, has evolved slower in your brain and the capacity of computing information just don't add up as fast as a white man. I would have burnt the book. The book would no longer be in my house. I would no longer be promoting this. But for some reason, Uncle Tom West, and the rest of his crew, and Cedric, I love you, Lions Den champion, but goddamn, man, shit. You have to come from the dark side and come to the light, because this ain't making no sense. Why would you promote this? Scientific racism has destroyed our people for hundreds and hundreds of years, ladies and gentlemen. Hundreds and hundreds of years. This scientific racism is part of colonialism. It's a part of goddamn eugenics. I mean, all of these things have since it started. You know, the classification of man, the textile, and they calling us great apes and all that. Man, come on. This is pseudo judo. There is no real science behind one species a man being more evolved than the other. The creator of this universe created mankind all at once. And all the creatures and animals, he did it all at once. Or she, he, I don't know what it is. He might not even call himself a he, she, because we can't even fathom what the creator is, y'all. You know, we just break it down simple to our understanding, so we might say he or she. We don't know. We don't know. But yeah, Karima, let's go ahead and let the viewing audience see this goddamn educational ass whooping that they did this black man. And men think of Molly put on these goddamn pseudo Jews. Go ahead, Queen. Yeah, man, everybody hit that like, share, and subscribe, man. Look, like I said, this was an ether. They will never be, Uncle West, you'll never be able to get in front of the TV with that goddamn book again. I guarantee that. Let's go. And then when I ask to stop, if you don't mind, you know, when the good part come out. Well, the whole thing was good, but yeah, you know what I mean. And Indigenous is supposed to be popping on, y'all. So him and Apollo Bay, they helped, you know, narrate this. So here we go. We can skip the music and all that.
Odin Valhalla Rising, now available on.
I see we got the lines and security peeking around. Jason, great.
Garfield and a lot of people over there been taking his information.
They're talking about Indigenous.
We're gonna find all this out right now. They've been creeping his information and
Jesus Christ
putting it up as though it was their own.
How that go?
So we're gonna find this out.
Shout out to HOK signing the TV as well. If y'all want to see the video without commentary, go check it out on Sonetta Studios. Thank you, Sar, for letting me share this.
Telephone number 540-773.
And see, he was his notifications ain't going out. And real quick, Karima, stop there real quick. Let me say something. Because Karima put me up on game on this. Oh, you did? Okay, you stopped it. Like Karima told me that, you know, Like you may think, like you'll see at the end of your show your views, and you're like, damn man, I only got this many views, but I guess they be hiding your views for some people. I don't know because I'm on restrictions for Facebook for the last 4 years. And I guess they can do the same thing on YouTube. I just wanted to put that out because he was wondering what the hell was going on, and it took Karima to tell me what was going on to understand that because Karima somehow she can find out the real views. But let's keep it moving.
Yo, where you at, bro?
This is unprofessional, bro. Cause I don't see where's the link. Can you just send me text me the
Yo,
link.
you don't know how to go to Sarnetta Studio?
Yes, I'm going to the studios. They got some old pastor dudes up there. That's all I see.
No,
some old
man. Go
pastors.
to Sarnetta Studios, brother.
That's
Damn, they got my shit out of the algorithms, man.
They have to, because all I see was that dude that said, "What's up? What's wrong with y'all?"
The how people are stealing his information and they don't want to pay tribute. They don't want to
text me the
Yo, you don't know how to go to Sarnetta.
Yeah, fast forward a little bit, Kareem.
This YouTube is getting crazy. I was looking at Hassan Campbell yesterday, and he was talking.
Yeah, right there.
And he had like over 3,000 in his chat. I was like, damn, see how they open up when you just talking garbage and stupid stuff? But when you talking this other stuff, they don't want the people to hear this, man. Indigenous, what up, brother?
Yeah, right there. No, that was good because her digits just came on.
Yeah, I wanted to play that part of what he was saying real quick, but
yeah, you can teach. Go ahead, Kareem.
20.
You can see
stuff. So, and they even talk. They
the information he been bringing out, and he been cracking people's head with it. So, what's going on, brother? Talk to us.
Yeah, Sarnetta. I mean, over the years, we all have came into different information on our own. You know what I'm saying? And we're all regurgitating information that we learn. But when you're still on my talking points, you know what I'm saying? And then you try to turn around and say that you didn't, that's what's getting me. So, people like Garfield, it ain't just them, Judah, Yara, Apostle. I called Pastor Bennett doing it here recently when I put Acts 6:1 in the chat, and he didn't know that. He didn't know about the Grecian thing, that scripture about the Grecians and the Hebrews arguing over the distribution of bread. He said it after the debate, and he didn't have it for the debate. And as soon as I put it in the chat, he took it straight out the chat. So I'm not just talking about I'm talking about this whole community. I put out stuff like Sesostris. Sesostris one was the one who named the land of, the southern half of Nubia, Cush, with the K. All right. Mm-hmm. Now, according to the Bible, Cush was Ethiopia, Mizraim was Egypt. These are the lands of the names that was given from the Bible, like the Bible says, that the lands will be named after, y'all, after the people, after, the descendants, which it is. As we still talk about Ham, Shem, Japheth, and Canaan and all that stuff. So, and they even talk, they started taking that stuff. And when I came into the community, I was talking about scientific racism and how, Blumenbach and Linnaeus started it. I said with the Papal Bulls, they gave it, they justified it with the Papal Bulls in the 1400s during the Spanish Inquisition, right? And, when it comes to some of those from blue and all that. And then, later on, Linnaeus started classifying us, calling us lazy and lustful and things of that nature. And these things are still said about us today. You can see how the scientific racism starts with him, then goes to Blumenbach.
Which student has a better chance of getting into an Ivy League school? First, take a look at Zach. He's
race theory Sarnetta. Blumenbach created the race theory, split humanity up into 5 different races. Linnaeus classified us. He split us into 4 races. He comes before Blumenbach, and then Blumenbach split us up into 5 different races.
Hold on for 1 minute.
And created, yeah.
Hold on for 1 minute. Brother.
Okay.
You got to know Eric Young. You got to know that Brother Daoud passed away, brother, like 4 or 5 years ago. So when you say, when am I going to bring him on my show, Brother Daoud passed away. And as you can see right there, how many subscribers this channel have, but they only allow like 100 maybe to come in, and they block everybody else because it's not in the algorithms. And this is what they do, because see, they don't want to play fair when it comes to me. They want the people to think that nobody wants to hear this black stuff, this knowledge. That's why they do that.
Yeah.
They want the people to think nobody wants to hear that.
All right, we got Apollo Bay and Indigenous Blackman in the building. Y'all go ahead and introduce.
I've been saying that. I told you. So don't let what you see fool you. Don't let the views you see fool you. I got a whole little other channel where I can see the real views. You can go to my Facebook page and see the real views.
Yep. Analytics. The real analytics, but I guess they want people to pay. They want people to pay, and then you can get your stuff in the algorithm. But go ahead and let Apollo introduce himself and Indigenous. Go ahead, y'all.
Peace,
Time is everything.
Peace. What's going on with y'all? This is Morris Barbarian. Yeah, I mean, I got Indigenous Blackman on the phone, ready to break down this knowledge that he was hitting y'all up with yesterday. Yeah, I mean, him and JJ was going hard. So I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Peace and love, everybody. What's going on? Love, peace and love. Chat. Peace and love, everybody's watching this going on.
You guys speak up a little bit, man. You got a little bit louder.
Oh, you can't hear me?
You speak up just a little bit louder. Act like you're mad. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, we just same thing I came into the community with. Same thing that when I started presenting with JJ and Karima, just same stuff being said, but we did get to bust them in the head with it because they wasn't ready. You know what I'm saying? It shows they're Side Netter's paying attention. Because Side Netter knows. He knows that, I have the information. That's why he allowed me to do this. And then JJ also, because we've been doing it for years. So, that's why he allowed us to come up there and do it finally. Because I guess he's getting tired of the nonsense being spread around the community too. And that's what I said. I was thankful for that. But it's the same old, y'all. Same thing I've been telling y'all over here. Y'all know that. And, the stuff that I've been saying about they stealing my stuff, and I'll see when I say it up here, it's like I said, everybody jokes around and acts like I'm playing. Ain't no playing over here. I'm telling you the honest to God's truth. I ain't got time to keep on, explaining to you why and, or making you understand why. The truth don't have to be validated to ignorance. When a nigga gets up on this panel and says it in front of the whole community, where were they at to debunk anything that I said? Any of them that I was talking about? Like I said, they gonna stop playing with us. And, this right here must have been the head to the, and thank you again, JJ, because JJ set it all up. He was the mastermind and behind the plan and getting me up there, and then, and then we both was allowed to get our stuff off. But Side Nutter's been paying attention too. He's been paying attention for years. He knows, but JJ, like I said, I appreciate you for this, because if it wasn't for JJ, I would have been all over the place. I would have been all over the place. JJ kept it in line.
Yeah, because what they were trying to do, see the title the title is pseudo scientific information being exposed. Meaning, the main topic was scientific racism, and what they want to do. You know, they want you to forget about the Bible, but they're always bringing up the Bible. Every conversation that's on that show, you know, on channels like that, for some reason, if the title isn't about the Bible, they're gonna slip the Bible in there and say, "Well, what about the Bible?" Well, no, man, we're not doing that today. This is not a Bible topic. We're not talking about Jesus, Moses, Hannah, or whoever else is in the Bible. We're talking about scientific racism and how it affected us as a people. And we went down the line and we showed you like it was an evolutionary trail of how it ended up today with like eugenics. And then you go to Planned Parenthood, Bill Gates. We didn't really get to touch on Bill Gates, but this has been going on for a long time because with these racist ideologies of them trying to put themselves over every other race, the black man, the red man, Chinese man, they have put themselves on a pedestal. And then it's a shame that when we got these people like Unc West and you know Garfield and them that supports these type of teachings. So go ahead, Sister Kareem, let's get it. Did you want to say something about the numbers real quick again, or you good on that? Kareem, you good on that? Because Kareem was saying this a long time ago. So I never see it too. That you know YouTube, you know, take it out of the algorithm, and like I said, he got 100. Go ahead, Kareem.
You can see right here in his channel what the views are really is. So when he going live or when he posts something, he can actually see in his analyst that it's more views than what is showing, because they don't want you to see. They don't want the people to see what you showing because they want to make it seem like nobody's really watching you or watching that video. So, but all you got to do is post it in your like if you got Facebook and things like that, it'll show you too. But post it in your what they call news feed, so people can get your notification. See, I don't do that. I don't care about that. But tell them to post it in this news feed so people will see that you're about to go live and it's in your notification on YouTube.
Okay, let's get it.
And they want me to give up. They want me to give up on the channel, just let it go. Because they don't want to see this. They don't want to hear this. So that's what it is, man. 189K plus 683. It's crazy, man.
And he got more than that. I could see his analysts on my little station where I could see other people's analysts, and he got way more than that on the other videos that I'm on the little thing I use, little analyst to make my little videos. He got more than that. I could see he got way more than what YouTube is actually telling him in his analysts. So yeah.
Oh shit, you might have to go on MM7K TV and show some. Oh, you know, we're doing behind the scenes. I want to see too. But let's get to the meat and potatoes right here. This educational ass woman, this ether. We was Nas, they was JC. You hear me? And then the crazy part, they try to come. A couple of the Unc Westerlites try to come up there and disrupt the show at the end. This goddamn Seven Asar, this goddamn DZ904, two of the goddamn biggest coons in the community. So let's keep it moving.
Narrative how they want you to see it.
Yeah, if I was talking about celebrity gossip, believe me, this would be lit. But that's not what I do. You know what I'm saying? That's not what I do. If I was talking about celebrity gossip, if I was talking about drama, if I was talking about hip hop, believe me, they will open the floodgates to my channel.
No, that's not necessarily true. What it is you're not paying for memberships and you're not paying for their bullshit. After a while, they start putting you in the in the algorithm, because you're not paying for their memberships. You're not paying for subscribers and their little programs. So they stop messing with you. You feel me?
Because I'm helping to dumb down the people.
Right, it's controlling the narrative side. Like that's another one of my talking points that I've used, since I've been in the community. You create. See, and another thing that we have to talk about is how they create the problem, and then they're wicked enough to turn around. Eugenics, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they really don't know about eugenics and how, sterilizations and the Negro Project and Margaret Sanger, and they're pen paling with the Nazis back and forth, and Ford and Carnegie, and all of them was mixed up in that. Woodrow Wilson in 1920, he wrote a book in 1905 about how he admired the Klan. And then when he became president in 1920, he showed The Birth of a Nation, which was a racist film with people doing blackface, and white people in blackface, and he was showing it around the world saying, this is why we got to do what we do to the blacks, because this is how they act. They control the narrative that comes into America and goes out of America, brother.
Mm-hmm.
See?
So, how long you been doing this knowledge, Indigenous? Because you seem like a very informative brother, man. Like you know this stuff, man.
I've been talking since 2018 when I started talking over there on your channel. Every once in a while when you had to call in, once every blue moon, but I called in, and I called in on Unc and them's over there too. And that's why I like to thank Unc and Garfield for making me step up and find this information, because they was lying about the Dogon tribe. They didn't know about the Stele of Comos. They didn't even know about the Stele of Comos. I heard Jabari say the other day that that the Hyksos didn't have a language, Sinetter. They didn't even have their own writing style. So then, if that's the case, in the Stele of Comos, this is written by Comos, or written by Comos back then, that they intercepted a letter coming from the Hyksos going to the Nubians. Hello?
Yeah, tell them who Comos is, so that a lot of people don't know.
Odin Valhalla Rising, now available on.
Yeah, too many damn commercials.
Right. That's another form of hating. Like, when do they start really doing that? Like, that's another way for them to strike you too, because the commercials that's in there with the music and all the little garbage stuff, But yeah, it's weird.
Black, I've been talking since 2018 when I started talking over there on your channel. Every once in a while when you had to call in, once every blue moon, but I called in, and I called in on Unc and them's over there too. And that's why I like to thank Unc and Garfield for making me step up and find this information, because they was lying about the Dogon tribe. They didn't know about the Stele of Comos. They didn't even know about the Stele of Comos. I heard Jabari say the other day that that the Hyksos didn't have a language, Sinetter. They didn't even have their own writing style. So then, if that's the case, in the Stele of Comos, this is written by Comos, or written by Comos back then, that they intercepted a letter coming from the Hyksos going to the Nubians. Hello?
Yeah, tell them who Comos is, so that a lot of people don't know.
Comos is the 17th dynasty pharaoh who started fighting against the Hyksos. That's why I brought up Sesostris. Let's take it back for a second. Sesostris was the 12th dynasty pharaoh. I believe this is Len talking, okay?
Right.
I believe that the first 12 dynasties were black. The indigenous. And then here comes the 13th dynasty pharaohs. That's when Nubia took over family. Okay? And then right after them, in the late 14th dynasty, here comes the Hyksos. And it was an amalgamation of all those people from Asia Minor. You know, they could have been from Turkey, you know, all down through there.
So let me ask you, is the Canaanite people, because people keep mixing this up, is the Canaanite people really the Israelites? Are they Israelite people, the Canaanites?
I say yes.
Go ahead, JJ. Go ahead, bro.
This your show. I'm just a wingman, but I say yes. We're in the land of Canaan.
Oh,
you know.
Well, Canaan is the son of Ham. Okay? Canaan is the son of Ham, and Ham's supposed to be the blackest of the blacks. Every time we talk about Ham, Ham is supposed to be our blackest of the black ancestors. So how can Canaan be white and Ham be black? The blackest of the black. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, these names will be named after the people in that lineage coming from Noah to Ham, Shem, and Japheth, to Mizraim, Cush, Put, and Canaan, the sons of Ham. These lands were named after these people, so it's proven that the Bible has a little more significance than people want to put out. Because the Bible tells you that they were going to name them lands after themselves. You see? But Sesostris, he was the 12th dynasty pharaoh of Egypt. And him and his father started off the 12th dynasty. Okay, they were the first two pharaohs of the 12th dynasty. And Sesostris went down, named Cush, named the lower half of Nubia. He took over Nubia, named the lower half Cush. Then in the 13th dynasty, the Nubians were ruling Egypt. They took over Egypt. And then here comes the Hyksos, and, you know, they was ruling northern Egypt and all that, you know, from the 14th dynasty to the 17th dynasty. And then the late 17th dynasty, Komos comes in, and he starts running the Hyksos out. And then Akhmos, his brother, once he became of age, took over and completely ran the Hyksos out of Egypt. All right, and they have that Stele of Komos that tells about the battles and stuff. And then, you know, like with the Dogon, I was telling them about how they worship the star every year, and they've been
Powerball is trying to censor this video.
every year, and science didn't find it out till 1976, but they put so much emphasis on science.
According to your research and study, who would you say would be one of the oldest people on the earth right now?
I really haven't done a lot of research into that area, but I would have to say the people. This is, like I said, this is Lynn talking, but
that's why. You know, that's why people, right? That's why. Well,
I'm not just going to give it to. Yeah. They would be one, but also, Sinetta, you got to remember that I'm a Bible believer, so I believe in what the Scripture says. Unlike most of these people, pretend Bible believers out here, that everything started at the Garden of Eden. So if you believe that.
I think that
it tells about that fourth river coming out of.
I think that right there just shot down some of your credibility, brother. When you said that you are a Bible believer and you believe in the Bible.
But I made sure that you knew that this is me talking.
Right.
That's my opinion.
I got you.
Because
so you believe? Do you believe that life started with Abraham? I mean, with Adam and Eve.
Yes, that's what. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Oh wow!
Let me ask a question. So is it credible to think that we come from monkey chimps? Why is that credibility shot? Go ahead. Man, just answer that question for me, sir.
Me?
Yeah, I mean, do you think Yeah, I'm asking you. Do you think it's credible for a person to get in front of us with a fairy tale that somehow another species changed into another species? That is not happening today, and it never happened. What do you think about that? Go ahead, get it.
You got to remember, we came in off of space rocks. That was our spaceships, because they say that.
Guys, I'm about to cash a check for $180,000 and get my entire car loan paid off. I'm getting all of this for free. See, I bought a new car 9 months ago. The car looked amazing, but after driving it for a few months, I noticed there was a problem with the suspension. I didn't think too much of it. I only took my car to the shop maybe twice. Figured it was just something I'd have to live with. Luckily, my friend was in a similar situation and shared this app with me. I put a link to it in the description below. But you just answer a few questions about your car. Don't worry, the information isn't personal or sensitive. It just tells you if you qualify for a big check, like this one I'm holding right here, to get your entire car loan paid off, and all of this for free. See, it uses a new loophole in a state law that insurance companies and auto manufacturers don't want you to know. Crazy, right? See, friends and family even told me to forget about it because I already purchased it and that the sale was final. And it wasn't worth my time because all the hoops they said I'd have to jump through. I'm so glad my friend shared this app with me, because now I'm basically getting an extra $180K for free, and my vehicle is replaced for me at no extra cost. And I didn't have to jump through a bunch of hoops or have to desperately plead my case to dealer after dealer, all of which don't really care. Here, let me show you how I did it. Ready? Okay, so I use this tool called Lemon Law Case Connect Compensation Calculator. It's a little known tool that's apparently 100% free. It's pretty crazy. See, it lets you know if your faulty car that you own qualifies for a big check and what that check might look like. Then, you know what, here, let me show you the site. All you have to do, you come to this page. See, I answered a few simple questions to see if my car qualifies. Now, don't.
You know, our story is a extraterrestrial story from the Bible. Well, what I like to tell you scientifically literate people is that your story is a, outer space story, because you came in on space rocks as single-celled organisms. And also, isms, all these isms, any ism goes back to collectivism, which means that, for the collective, the individual should be offed if need be. In the worst case scenario, should be all for the betterment of the group. That's what all these isms are. And when you follow isms, you're taking isms, trying to replace wisdom with your BS isms. But that's all they get. Nationalism, ism goes back to collectivism. Right. Is what we're in America.
Let me ask you, JJ. JJ, you making mistakes. You making errors, JJ.
Go ahead.
Dinka. Number one, nobody says that we come from monkeys, brother. I don't know why y'all continue to say that when we go over it every day and tell you about a common ancestor.
Okay.
We don't come from the same damn monkey. You can look at a chimpanzee and humans and put our DNA close together, and you'll see the DNA is like damn near right there with them.
Okay, let me answer that.
Go ahead.
Okay, so we have one of our mainstays in our community. No, we have a guy named Q. He just wanted to debate.
All right, Cube says that. Yeah.
Now, yes, Cube says, and just tell him what the quote that Charles Darwin said. Go ahead.
Charles Darwin. See, they can't even quote Charles Darwin right, Sotnetter. Charles Darwin says, "Whilst, however, well behaved, man is but a monkey shaved." And he also questions if evolution is a religion, because it's a belief and a theory, because a theory is nothing more than a belief. And ism is a belief and a theory at the same time. Can you hear me?
Kareem.
Yeah, I'm here. What's going on? Is it stuck?
All right. Yo, we just want to know, could you hear Indigenous?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, is the video stopped?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you hear me? Is the video stopped, Apollo?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Now, see, when I read that quote from Darwin afterwards, that's what Lex came in on. Lex came in. Lex, you got some explaining to do, too. Like, listen, because you run around here trying to take credit for our debate. For our presentation that we put out there with Genevieve itself. So if Lex Vortex is watching, tell Lex Vortex to come on in here. But no, he helped out a little bit at the end. But that's what I was saying. Darwin asked, "Is it a theory? Is it a belief or a religion?" Now that's his quote that I just said there. You know what I'm saying? And then earlier with Canaan, he asked me, about were they Canaanites, and it would be more plausible to say were those people, was Canaanites Israelites, and it would be more plausible to ask if the Israelites were Canaanites, because Canaan came way before the son of Ham, so Ham and Canaan is before Jacob, and Jacob brought Israel around.
But, Indigenous. Indigenous. I gotta stop. I gotta stop you. See, now what you do, you're falling in the same trap. We're not talking about the Bible, and they'll trick you into getting off the topic that we're talking about. See how you're going into it? This ain't a Bible topic today, so let's get to the science, if you don't mind, sir. You see what I'm saying? We already explained all that before, but that's what he do. He tricked you into talking about something that ain't the topic. That's just their way of avoiding questions and answers. Sister Kareem, can you put it back up?
I was just talking about what I presented yesterday. That's all.
Okay, my fault then. Go ahead, brother.
So it's a part of the presentation. So I just wanted to add some, because I didn't get to talk. Got cut off. I guess somebody was calling him or something. But yeah, go ahead.
Kareem, we got to put the video back up. So while she doing that, like I said, I wasn't trying to be rude or cut you off. I'm just saying that's their trick. They want you to get off of them, putting them in the hot fence seat, putting them on defense, and they bring up a Bible question. Now what you're doing? Now you're on defense. You see, we're here with the offense, putting them on defense. But they masters at switching the damn conversation. Let's go.
Whilst, however, well behaved, man is but a monkey shaved. And he also questions if evolution is a religion, because it's a belief and a theory, because a theory is nothing more than a belief. And ism is a belief and a theory at the same time, according to Merriam-Webster. Okay? So the only thing you're doing is throwing out beliefs and theories, and you're sitting here tap dancing for dead oppressors who are the authors of taxonomy, who are the authors of classification, who are the authors of the monkey-minded nonsense like Linnaeus and Blumenbach, who created race. Again, I'm going to say it one more time for the layman. Blumenbach created race. So when you out here talking about races, you just regurgitating his stuff. I don't want to get mad, but I'm telling you, like that. They was using our skins for. They was using our skins, slave skins for leather. What about the Moore skeleton, in Harvard? What about Adabango when he was in? They had him in a cell with the monkey.
Indigenous.
If you live with diabetes, you're making decisions constantly.
Bread for the table?
Do you agree that we at least have a common ancestor between
I can't hear you, brothers.
You can't hear me? You can't hear me?
The phone's messing.
Yo?
Now I can.
All right. Do you agree that we do have a common ancestor with the?
Yeah, I do.
So
no.
how do you explain with the chimpanzee? You don't believe that?
No. That I'm a Bible believer, I believe the scriptures, then how could I come from a monkey?
Do you agree with DNA
scriptures?
or you don't agree with DNA?
Oh, yeah, I agree with DNA,
Okay,
but I mean, I've done presentations.
Okay.
Hold up, wait a minute. You got to understand that at the beginning of DNA, there is Charles Darwin, and then right after him comes, they weaponize Mendel's theory.
Get Charles Darwin out your mind right quick.
No.
Because
I'm telling you the origins of this. I'm telling you who started it.
But listen.
Who started?
Hold on.
The origins.
Hold on. How do you explain that humans and chimpanzees, 95, close to 90% of the same? The only thing that separates us is 2% DNA, brother. How do you explain that if we don't have a common ancestor?
Okay.
You can go and Google it, type it up, and look it up.
No, I don't need to because I've had these conversations. I'm just coming off the top of my head, and that time, there's no way that you have time enough for all that. And even I've showed videos where the top scientists were saying that there's not enough time for this. They said that listen, Signetter. They said that a four-legged mammal, this is whale evolution, okay?
Right.
They said that a four-legged mammal ran and jumped into the ocean and evolved into a whale. They said it happened in 7 million years. They said that ain't even time enough for, the scientists who are in this field said that ain't even time enough for the four-legged mammal to grow a tail fluke, let alone the lungs to be able to dive and eat underwater and have birth and do all that underwater. Come on, man. Are you serious? And like I said, I'm telling people we come from bananas and all this other stuff. This craziness. There's not enough time for all this to happen. That's why they keep on adding time to evolution. And they know that science cannot speak in absolutes because a new find could change everything tomorrow, like naphtha Playa did.
Do you believe in evolution?
Do I believe in evolution?
Yes.
Yes, I believe that this lie is evolving. And it has been evolving ever since it's been put out here.
That's the evolution, son.
Okay.
That's the only thing that's evolving is this lie.
So you don't believe in
the big lie, which, hold up, the big lie was said, keep on telling the story over and over until everybody starts.
Now, you never answered my question. I asked you, how do you explain the difference of 2% DNA from humans? Other than that, the chimpanzees got 98%. Hold on. The chimp got 98% DNA as humans. The only thing that's off is the 2%. Now, you said you believe in DNA. How do you explain that, brother?
I believe that we share a creator. Okay, and to make fingers, hair, face, eyes in the same position, nose in the same position, you share the same creator, and he uses the same thing to make them as he did us. The plants, the animals. Man is made up of every element on this earth. And life, and earth gives life. When you plant a seed, earth gives life. Just like when Adam, they say Adam came from the dirt, so does the plants, the trees, so does the vegetation, so does the food that we eat. See? So we share a common creator. So that makeup that makes us up, it makes us similar with the 5 fingers, our eyes in the same position, our nose in the same position, our mouth in the same position. Our whole makeup is the same.
So if you believe that Adam came from the dirt, why are we not coming from the dirt now?
Stop real quick. The creator made them in the beginning. That was the original model. So he didn't need to bring man up out of the dirt no more, because he made man and woman to create, to be fruitful and multiply according to the Bible. Now, I don't know what these other cultures teach about it, but let me just say this: humans and monkeys, they differ. See what I'm saying? Like I say, it's back to the Bible. We're not doing that. The topic is going to be about scientific racism. It's getting ready to pick up here in a second. Let's keep it going. They differ in physical and cognitive traits. Humans are bipedal, have larger brains, more complex language, and advanced cognitive abilities like abstract thought and tool making, which is not as developed in monkeys. Monkeys, on the other hand, typically walk on all fours. We're not walking on all fours. I mean, like I say, there is a creator, a power that created everything. I believe everything was created at once. There was no evolution. This just created it. Had to, if this power, whether you want to call him Yahweh, Marie, or whatever our ancestors called him, created everything at once. Now you can adapt to different situations, but there is not one species that's going to turn into another species. A monkey is not going to turn into a man. A dog is not going to turn into a cat.
See, there you go again. No one said that a monkey is going to turn into a man, brother.
Okay, listen, son. Are you
going back there again?
Wait a minute. I think you're defeating evolution.
Darwin said.
We share the same common ancestor as a banana. I'm just playing. Bananas had the same type of DNA, but bananas got somewhat of our DNA. Mammals do too. So what are we talking here?
I'm talking about Darwin, though.
That's his theory, son. He's of that theory.
I'm not talking about his theory, brother. I'm talking about ancestors, the same common ancestor. That's what I'm talking about, not Darwin's theory.
All right. Well, let me answer that real quick. I'm gonna let him get back in. Okay, so let me ask you this, son. Why we can find every bone and skeleton on this planet, but for some reason this missing answer, this transitional ancestor can nowhere be found? That is a theory. That is not absolute. Wow. Look. You let Unc rock yesterday, didn't interrupt. Come on, son.
I'm asking you, said what can't be found?
Okay. Where's the missing ancestor, son? Can you tell me?
You said where's the missing ancestor?
Yeah. Who's the in-between? The transitional person. I'm backstage.
You are the ancestors, brother, the common ancestor.
Okay, so let me ask you.
The common ancestor, chimps evolved into what they are, dogs evolved into what they are. Every living creature comes from a common ancestor. Every living creature that's breathing, that you have lungs and you breathing, it all come from
Indigenous. Where you at? You still here?
Yeah, I'm still here. Did it freeze? I think it froze up.
No, you here. I'm talking about indigenous.
Yeah, he on with Apollo.
Oh, okay.
I got it on the TV, so I got a delay.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm about to. I already busted him in the head, you know, because I ain't gonna say that, but I already let him know how I feel about it. we share a common creator, and the monkey's made just like we are. It's not like it's a tree.
What's going on?
We share a common creator.
Hey.
The plants, the elephants, they
Can
come
y'all hear Indigenous? Because he sound mighty low to me. Is it me?
Yeah, I can hear him. He's low though, but I can hear him. But
yeah, so you might want to. Okay, all right.
Yeah, tell him to yeah, y'all fix the little audio so it can be a little clearer. All right, I'm starting it.
One source, brother.
Okay, so where's
you don't hear us saying, hold up. You don't hear us saying we are dogs, even though they come from a common ancestor. You don't hear us saying we are cats. It all comes from a common ancestor. Remember, I demonstrated to you where you have the whole, the origin, and it splits off, and one go right, left, and it splits off, and one go left and right, and it splits, and it continue to split. And then from them splits becomes something else, become the dog family, the wolf family, becomes the animal nature. That's what I'm telling you. It don't mean that we come from them. It means that we come from the same origin which created them. You understand?
Not really, but let me just kind of understand, okay? I'm gonna let you get it. I'm gonna let you get it because it's more of your thing. This your debut. Go ahead.
Well, Lucy got some explaining to do, Sidenetter, because science tells you that we come from Lucy. Lucy got some explaining to do. Lucy's hip bones were reconstructed to make it look like she could walk upright. All right, now, we hear about these skeletons. Now, Lucy, science tells you that we come from common ancestors. Now, Lucy got some explaining to do, Ricky. And not only that, but Piltdown Man had a human skull with a monkey jaw added to it, and they're trying to pass that off as real science, just like they're trying to pass off all of this, deviltry going against the Bible, so they don't have to say that they came from black people.
Yeah, let me get in. Now, the idea. No, this is part of Lucy. Come on, sir. You can do this to bro. You want to ask another question? Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
A question from the chat.
No, we don't care about this.
What did the ancestor look like? The common ancestor look like? Nobody knows, brother. That is a dumb question, Patterson. Okay. No one was here to see the common ancestor because, first of all, the common ancestor split up and broke off and went all different places. Animals was here before us.
Okay.
Lions was here before us, so how would we know what it looked like?
Yep.
Come on.
Okay, can I get in? Let me get in. I just want 1 minute to get in. Yeah. The idea of the Artificialist African is fossil is known as Lucy is definitively debunked as a human ancestor. It is a contested claim often promoted by the creation source. Arguments against Lucy as a human ancestor often center on anatomical differences, alternative interpretations. Let me read this. Some argue that Lucy's skeletal features, particularly here, her knee joints and certain aspects of her pelvis, are not human-like. This is what they got to deal with, Sunetta. They putting pieces together with this Lucy. We do not come from no Lucy. And like he said, they added different parts to her to fit their narrative. This is what
Who said we come from Lucy, brother? Who said that?
Okay, so you know what? I'm gonna
science has numerous times.
JJ?
Well, I mean, you can't even let us. If you let us get the information out, then ask questions, that would be better. Don't you think that would be better for the people?
Okay,
wait, no, hold on. Okay. Who's this guy right here?
That's Assault 7.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so we don't need you up here right now.
All right, you don't want him up here right now?
No, not yet. No, he's a distraction.
Not yet, Assault. Not yet.
You get beat up. Go ahead, Indigenous.
Yeah, well, science tells you that, Sidenetter, and just like I said, Charles Darwin tells you in his quote, he says, "Whilst, however, well-behaved, man is but a monkey shaved." Now, y'all going against the creator of this theory, who started the book. It's called The Origins of Species by Means of Natural Selection or Preservation of Favored Races. Now, who's the one preserving the races? It would be Darwin, because he's the one with this theory. Okay, so this is the racist, and then he's telling us that we're less than, we're unfit, and we should be exterminated within the next few generations. And then Galton puts it into practice through eugenics.
Facts.
See? Everybody needs to start doing their research on eugenics and finding out exactly what eugenics is, because this is a problem. We can't put it together like that. Y'all can't start at the beginning of this scientific racism and go to the end. I can bring it straight to you to this day. When I'm talking about population control and Malthus, who is that? That sounds just like Bill Gates.
Facts.
When I'm talking about all for you and all, I'm talking about Francis Galton, Darwin's cousin, who created eugenics.
Facts.
And then they sit up here and act like this stuff is real, and it has some type of weight, and they should still be talking about it. We should already ran them out of the community with this nonsense years ago.
Hold up, just tell them about how the beginning of this, it wasn't even no science. They're backing it up. Go ahead and tell them about that. How they come up with this economy of us being apes and
well,
go ahead.
I mean, the DNA wasn't mapped until 1950 AD. So we talking about DNA from back then. DNA wasn't mapped until 1950. What y'all talking about, man? Y'all need to wake up. The only thing is evolving is this lie that's being told to you, telling you who you are, how to live, and where you come from.
And the crazy of this,
hold up, and then we were like what Foy would say. He would say that we would revert back to animals if we didn't have a large amount of help from them, the oppressor. Yeah, that's what you're dealing with.
Where they got the black man ranked at?
I just don't get it, man. Like, I mean, we supposed to be intelligent beings, right? And this is what I mean by that religion really messed us up, Indigenous. You can't even think right outside the box. How you don't go with evolution, and the reason why we still alive today is because of evolution. It's because the doctors had taken a pill, a medicine, and evolved it where it can cure. Now they talk about they found the cure for cancer. Did you know that, brother? And did you know how long it took them to do that? Go and take that up. Yeah, I was watching the news the other day, and I was like, damn, I was happy for that, because they was talking about prostate cancer. And brothers are dying because of prostate cancer. And when I heard that on the news, I was like, God damn, I felt good because of that, you know? And go and look it up right now, bro. Can you not believe in evolution, man? I don't get y'all do. Because I'm gonna tell you why. It's because that Jesus crack pipe got y'all, Mo. Got y'all, bro.
Hold on, but you can't even put that on me. Hold on, let me get it. Hold on. No, we got to slow this down for real. We both all talking at once. I see DZ. I see a bunch of people out there that think we evolved from monkeys, but they cannot tell us this missing answer.
That we evolved.
Bro. Let me shoot you some money so I can talk. Can I do that? Give me your cash up. Give me your cash up. God damn.
Are you missing out on this health benefit that might be zero cost to you?
Wow. I'm just saying, man. I mean, why can't we? Let me ask you this: anybody in the audience, not your son, if we were so closely related to these apes and their family, why ain't these apes still changing?
Why do you think they call us great apes, Mandika? Why do we have great apes?
I'll tell you why.
Go ahead, tell me why.
Because there was this guy, Carl Linnaeus, who came up with the taxonomy. Go ahead and get into it, Indigenous. Well, everybody should know this. DZ, you don't know this? Go ahead and explain it, Indigenous.
Hey, one of the monkeys was called Lucifer. Hey, look, he had 4 monkeys up on the screen in his book, and one of them was Lucifer. Come on, yo. I'm taking you to the origins of this stuff.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Now tell them before
that.
When they came up with all these theories, there was no science backing any of this. This was pseudoscience. That's why I say pseudoscientific racism is what they wanted to prove that they were better than us. They were more intelligent than us, more smarter than us, but they had no science to back this up. Before him, what were they calling us? Before this guy came up with this taxonomy, what were they calling us? So we're gonna listen to this guy. And matter of fact, was he even educated indigenous? This guy that came up with this.
Man, go ahead. There was no science behind it. It was the age of enlightenment. They was making up stuff, man. It's during the age of enlightenment. That's what it was. They was making up stuff. No science behind it. I think Darwin met one monkey, a great ape, and it was an orangutan. I mean, come on, yo. Like I said, you had Dr. Marion Sims, when he was back there, how they got gynecology. He was doing, I heard Nepal talk about that, where he was doing, surgeries on the slaves. And the other doctors left because it was so barbaric. And then he had 3 slaves there, and then 2 of them would hold the one down who he was operating on. And that's the father of gynecology. See, these are the people that just like I said, if I'm giving you the origins, if I'm telling you who started classifying us, see, classifications, taxonomy, all of that. We come from monkeys. That is Linnaeus. They didn't even know that. They're saying it was Darwin. They can't put this on the timeline right. They don't know what they're talking about. They just regurgitate. I see Cedric out there. He said that I'm crazy. I see you out there, Cedric. But I've already caught you, use regurgitating my talking point. So if I'm crazy, what does that make you for regurgitating a crazy man? You're a hard foot having coconut eating. You better leave me alone, Cedric, because I'm gonna bust you up.
Hey, hold on. Let me read this real quick, because this is what the Unc West and them teach. See, pseudoscientific racism is a term used to describe the use of flawed and distorted scientific methods and theories, DZ, to support racist beliefs, particularly claims of inherent superiority or inferiority of certain racial groups. These people like the Charles Darwins, the Linnaeus, all these ones that Unc West get up here and act like he's just the godfather of the information. And Unc said that he called us a we. I mean, that had to be the dumbest thing I heard in my life. Now watch this. See, these claims is a form of scientific racism, which is an organized system that miscues science to promote false scientific beliefs. And this is what the pseudo killers do. And they rather go against the ancestors and our people in Africa, from north, south, east, west Africa. All of them believe in something greater than themselves. They're not calling themselves monkeys. Now, the key characteristics is misuse of science. Pseudoscientific racism cherry picks or twists scientific findings to fit pre-existing racist agenda. And I wish anybody would get up here and try to debunk that. You're going to get beat up today. I guarantee you. Unc West won't show up. DZ, any of y'all in this audience that's pushing this to our community. Now, creating false and racial categories. Here we go right here, y'all. It often proposes, and shout out to my queen, Jenny Hayes. I see you, baby. Now watch this. It often proposes the existence of distinct biological determined races. You hear that? Biological determined race. This is what Unc is going with. I mean, you will get beat up. Come on, Sonetta. With inherent differences in capabilities. They're teaching that we have differences in capabilities or intelligence, Sonetta. This is what this has to get out. We have to put this out in our community. I know cognitive dissonance is very, very well in this community, because y'all been listening to the same rhetoric for the goddamn last 20 years, Sonetta, been on TV. Now watch this. I'm gonna say one more, and I'm gonna let him get back in. The justification of a discrimination. This is the justification of discrimination. They want to justify why they're being discriminated and racial. These false claims, Unc West, Juju, are then used to weaponize and justify discrimination and oppression and exploitation. Go ahead.
The Purple Bulls did. Like the Papal Bull, same thing. The Papal Bull. This is an ongoing lie. They've been telling this lie to us forever. They trying to keep us in division is one of their main weapons. Division is an age-old weapon. You just like the lines on the map. You know how the lines on the map divide?
Yeah, let me
That's
ask
the
JJ.
same thing. It ain't no different, man.
Let me ask you, JJ. What does a caterpillar evolve into, JJ?
Brought to you by Rogue.
Because you don't believe in that, right? You don't believe in that. What does a caterpillar evolve into? Mandinka, where you at? Oh, Mandinka running. So I ask you, Indigenous, what does a caterpillar evolve into?
I guess you could say a butterfly, but that's just a life stage. That's not evolution.
I know, Dean said that's not evolution. I'm trying to catch him out there on some shit. I was going to go to yo, Deez, chill, brother. Chill, Deez.
Oh, Deez don't want this smoke. He don't want this smoke. But, like I said, adaptation is what we're dealing with. Yeah. I will agree with that part of it. You know what I'm saying? But the evolution part, nah, brother. Right. I'm telling you where these theories and these beliefs come from, Sonetta.
Yeah, let me get it. Watch this. Now, in the 19th and early 20th.
On the wicked. Go ahead, brother.
Okay, hold on. Let me give them a little bit more. So they're gonna learn today, because we're getting this out of our community. We don't need them to telling us we this, we that. We already knew who we was before they even came into existence. They came late. Now, 19th and early 20th centuries, scientific racism, Unc West, included its pseudo-scientific forms, gained traction during the 19th and 20th century, often linked to colonialism and slavery. How about craniometry? Explain examples including measurements of skulls or head bumps. There's no science to back that up. This is pseudoscience to supposedly prove racial differences in intelligence and personality. Now here goes Unc's favorite, y'all. Social Darwinism.
Craniometry, JJ. Tell him who created craniometry first, JJ.
Was it Malthus?
Blumenbach.
Oh, Blumenbach. Okay, go ahead and talk about Blumenbach, and then I'm gonna go into social Darwinism. Go ahead.
The one who separated humanity, Johann Friedrich Blumenbach, the man who separated humanity into 5 different races, weaponized the term race, created the term Caucasian, all right, and craniometry. There was also a thing called phrenology at the time, also. And I think that was Francis Gall, Gull, who created that. I'm giving you the origins.
Explain what that is. You're going too fast. Explain what phrenology is. Explain what that is.
The studying of the skulls. Studying skulls. Phrenology too. Just the study of the skull. They're studying the skulls, different parts of it, different aspects of it. But they're studying the skulls. That's all they're doing. And these are the people who's creating this stuff. That's why I'm giving you these names. I'm not wasting my time throwing names out here. And it's not my fault that you can't keep up, because you've been believing these lies for so many years that the lie that has been told, just like Hitler said, tell the lie over and over and over again, and everybody starts believing, and that's what's happening right now. Yeah. That's what we're dealing with.
Watch this. Now, social Darwinism, ladies and gentlemen, this is Unc's favorite. This is Unc's master teacher. See, the misapplication of Darwin theories of evolution suggesting that some races were more evolved. Think about that. This is what Darwinism is. Some races are more evolved. Now that is a problem, and thus is inherent. And when one race is more evolved, they say that they're more superior. And then once we get past social Darwinism, the next step they come with eugenics. Now, it's a movement promoting selective breeding to improve the human race based on the subjective notions of desirable traits.
Selective breeding. That means the one that they choose to see fit to mate. That is what selective breeding means. Like I've taught y'all for years. That is selective. That's what that means. They're picking and choosing who does the breeding. Like the title, on the origins of species by means of natural selection or preservation of favored races. Who's preserving the favored races? The same thing, and it's in his title. That's why he had to take that part out and just call it On the Origins of Species. Sit down. Go ahead, JJ.
You want more? Now, see, I told y'all, man, we didn't come to play with y'all. We come here to educate. And anybody who has questions, we're not going to be like Unc West and interrupt you. Because once we're going to open up the panel in a little bit and we'll answer your questions. But y'all got to know, give us some of those, name off some of those founding forefathers. It can start off with the list and how it went to Margaret Sanger, how it started off with Malthus and all of them. Go ahead, Indigenous.
All right, first I want to answer this question. Bar Koga, you don't know nothing about genetics. I just told them that the origins of genetics started with Charles Darwin. Then they weaponized Mendel's theory because that's all he was doing was looking at pea plants and the colors of the flowers. And then Galton came in. So that is the origins of your genetics, my friend. And they didn't break down the DNA sequence until the 1950s AD. So I don't know why y'all acting like they had this information back in 1800s when these guys was making this shit up. I'm sorry, son. But yeah. Anyway, next.
So Mendel's theory, also known as the Mendelian inheritance, describes how traits are passed from parents to offspring. It's based on three key principles: the law of segregation, the law of dominance, the law of independent assortment. These principles explain how genes existing in pairs separate during reproductive and recombine to determine inherent characteristics. Go ahead and elaborate on that, family.
You sent in a proposal, but your manager...
Well, like I said, he was just dealing with pea plants, ladies and gentlemen. If we know Mendel's work, and they weaponized that term, and they took the dominant and recessive, and then Blumenbach said that we degenerated from white. That's what Blumenbach says. Okay, now this is the clear race. White. The ones who created the term race put the whites on the top and the blacks on the bottom. All right. So
what you think about that, Sarnetta? What you think about that?
I'm thinking about opening up the floodgates so that y'all can get some question and answers going on.
Okay, can you give us about 5 more minutes to go in, and then whoever wants, they're gonna get it. They're gonna get it.
All right.
They're gonna get it. Now, I want him to go into the beginning of scientific races, and then how it came all the way down to eugenics, and then we got Bill Gates. We got all these people. Go ahead, JJ.
Well, like I said, we start off with, we start off with Carl Linnaeus family. Like I said, we need to go back a little bit further in 1400s when Columbus was selling the ocean blue and all that, and they're justifying enslavement of the Africans, all right, through the papal bulls. Intercartel, there was 3 of like 1953, 1993, and one other one in there. But those are the ones who gave justification to the enslavement of the Africans. And then we go to the creator who starts classifying us like animals. He classifies us right alongside with the plants and animals and everything else. And like I said, he calls us lazy. He says that we were. He said that we were
lazy, and we crave women,
lustful. And see those
what
terms
about the white man though?
You see his ideals still being presented in today. They still say the same thing about us today. All right. And then you go to Blumenbach, like I said, who created the race, who created what we call race today. He weaponized the term and changed the narrative. And he put the whites on the top and the blacks on the bottom. He was calling all blacks Ethiopians too, ladies and gentlemen. Just so you know, they was classified all the Africans as Ethiopians. That was all. He didn't have other classifications for them. They were just Ethiopians, and they was put at the bottom of the list. And then here comes Malthus with the population control narrative, saying that we shouldn't help these poor people. We should just starve them out, and let them die. because they're unfit, imbeciles and idiots. And then here comes Darwin promoting the same narrative, saying that we were unfit, we were less than, and then eventually we was going to be exterminated. And then Galton puts all of these theories and lies into action through eugenics. Hitler,
you know what eugenics is
over there using the eugenics. Hitler is over there using the American eugenics model. Y'all say it was Hitler when you say, "Oh, Hitler is no." It started here in America with Francis Galton, the cousin of Charles Darwin, first cousin, and Margaret Sanger, who all of this birth control, which unbiased, he said, "Oh well, I want to have a debate about birth control." How can you have a debate about birth control and not bring up Margaret Sanger? She was.
Okay, go ahead. All right. We'll get back on. We're finna bust your head. Yeah. That's like I say, ladies and gentlemen. These people, why do we need to even listen to any? You got to reach your mic, family.
Oh, okay.
They
All right.
can hear your conversation.
All right.
Okay. Now, here's in 1859, Charles Darwin published his book, The Origin of Species, and suggests that the races were humans from different points of evolution.
You're just regurgitating. Huh?
Now, go ahead, family. You back. Go ahead.
If you're calling yourself a nationalist, that's what, it started with the Klan and all them. They started the nationalist movements in America. So you saying I'm a black nationalist. The only thing you're doing is mimicking them. Using the same talking points and showing that you don't even understand the terms that you're using. It's like I said, when you're dealing with these, anytime you add ism to the end of the word, it means it's a belief in the theory at the same time. So that's what you're dealing with, a bunch of beliefs and theories from the oppressor who wants to keep everybody divided through race, who wants to control you financially. We're all debt slaves today.
So
under the Rothschild Central Bank.
Let me take you back.
Can I say this real quick? I'm going to say this one thing. I want to say this one thing, real quick, please. The Rothschild Central Bank, there's only 3 countries, Iran, South Korea, and Cuba, or North Korea and Cuba, that are not under the Rothschild Central Bank. That's when I did that presentation in 2020. That was the stats then. I'm not sure about now, but then it was only 3 countries. So that's showing you are debt slaves. Anytime you sign a contract to work for someone, that is the definition of indentured servitude. You become an indentured servant as soon as you sign that contract, because the definition of indentured is to sign a contract to work for someone for a certain amount of time.
Okay, I want to ask you.
So you act like
I want to harken back.
Prisons is jail.
You are
prisons of slavery.
You are a Hebrew Israelite. Let me go back.
No, I'm not a Hebrew Israelite.
So you one of those Israelites that
gotta keep the Bible in there.
Believe that salvation is only for y'all, for Israel.
And see, this has nothing to do with the topic.
I beat a couple of these Hebrew Israelites up on that. I'm not a Hebrew Israelite.
Where do the Africans fit in your story, in your Bible?
Well, the Garden of Eden, right there.
The Bible.
Hold on, JJ. I'm talking to him. You're not an Israelite no more.
He tried to hot shit you.
They're all throughout the Bible. Like I said, the Garden of Eden tells you that the 4th river flowed down, as far as Ethiopia, out of the Garden of Eden. You have Egypt all throughout the Bible, people running in or running from Egypt.
Do you believe that Africans are cursed because of the Ham story?
Hey, it's Dean Graziosi. Tony Robbins and I spent millions of dollars creating a studio where we can pull back the curtain on what him and I have been doing.
No, I believe.
Yo, Jay,
I believe humanity.
Man, Dinka, man, chill, brother. Go ahead, Indigenous.
No, son. That's something that I heard Judah and them saying over there all the time. No, I don't believe that at all. No, and when the scripture tells you, do not despise an Edomite because he is your brother. Do not despise an Egyptian because you lived in his land for a certain amount of time. I go back to that scripture when you're talking about, because all of these people are kin in one way or the other.
So do you believe?
You know, we have wicked people.
So you believe that all life began with Adam and Eve, yes?
Yes, yes.
And you believe that a woman came from a man, yes?
Yes.
So how come women are not coming from men today? How come it's the opposite?
Because
when you look at reality, you see that there's a womb. A man don't have no womb, and you can see, you know. So why you don't see men creating women today coming from his rib?
We're talking about the Bible. We're talking about scientific racism.
Hold up.
Because God gave Eve those reproductive organs, and also once she transgressed, he told her that you was going to have labor pains and all this stuff was going to be on you because of your transgression and eating that apple.
So we don't want to talk about the Bible. We want to talk about scientific racism. Why are you trying to get him a pass? Now look at this right here.
Hold up. I hear the comedic people saying, "Oh well, the Earth is the womb." Senator, who was it? Geb? Is Geb the Earth? Geb's the Earth, and then Nut is like the sun and stars, right?
Right.
Am I correct, Senator?
Yep.
So how is the Earth feminine or a female?
But hold on. I want to get back to my question.
Hold on. If you believe the Kemet story,
I don't. Listen. I know that's a mythological story. I want to get back. Hold on. How many ribs does a man have? How many ribs?
We're not talking about the Bible.
Be quiet. Be quiet, Mandika. Be quiet. I'm asking Indigenous. This is your teacher, right? He should be able to answer this. He can Google it.
No, he's not my teacher.
He can Google it if he wants to. I don't care. How many ribs does a man have?
I'm not sure, Senator.
24. 12 and 12, right?
Thank you.
Okay. How come man is not being born with 23 ribs, being that a rib was taken from a man to make a woman? How come he is still being born with 24 ribs?
That I can't explain. I can't explain everything for God.
Can I answer that?
I can't talk for another man, so let alone trying to talk for God. You know what I'm saying?
Answer it, JJ.
Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, the people in the community, they cannot get away from the Bible, but they want to get away from the Bible, but they don't, but they can't get away from the Bible. We're talking about scientific racism that the Pseudo Killas is pushing in this community. See, so around the same time, there were some scientists who were proponents of polygenicism, which suggests that the races were actually completely different species. Different species, y'all. This contradicts the religious views where God created all humans. So they would have to get in front of us and say that the white people are a different species, the Chinese is a different species, the African Americans are a different species. They're not going to be able to do it. This theory has been disproven. We don't want to talk about the Bible. We're putting these guys on hot seat. Here we go.
Indigenous. Nepal said you was cooking with the eugenics talk, so I think she wants you to go back to that.
Right, but Nepal, you see how they keep trying to get us to talk about the Bible?
My sister Nepal was with me over there on Unbiased years ago when I did my presentation. She was on the same thing, so she had some good talking points on that too. We were supposed to beat up Unbiased and unking him over there on Unbiased show, so she knows what's going on. She knows what's going on.
Okay, so let's get back to eugenics. Can we do it, or Sonny, you want to talk about the Bible?
Yeah, go ahead. Get back to
go ahead, JJ.
Get back to it, man. Like I said, I'm gonna say it again. Okay, see, around the same time.
Look for an ATM from our bank, or we'll have to pay a small fortune in fees.
There were scientists
let me say this real quick. JJ, hold on. Stop 1 second. Abraham.
I'm going to take a 5-minute break. You got it. I'll be right back.
No, don't leave. I just wanted to say the promises started with Abraham. So they wrong. They say it started with Israel. The promises started with Abraham. You know, and he came and went into the you know, those lands and was given those lands. And what do you say, bought the land from Shechem and all this, you know, Shechem, the wild man who raped his sister, according to the scriptures. I'm sorry, rape. But, you know, all of that came from Abraham. The first, you know, he was Hebrew. They say Abraham was Hebrew. You know what I'm saying? So then Israel is nothing more than a nationality. So all you out here calling yourself Israelites, your nationality is American. You ain't Israel. That's a nationality.
That's right. Go ahead.
Okay?
Go ahead.
That's a nationality. Be Hebrew like your father Abraham was and have the faith that he had.
Woo! Go ahead.
You see what I'm saying, Sinai? Like I said, I don't play with the scriptures when it comes to the scriptures, and you got a lot of people out here regurgitating, like my Council of Jerusalem argument, you know, when they talking about Paul like a dog, but why in the Council of Jerusalem did Paul and Barnabas get the right hand of fellowship from James, John, and Cephas?
Bro, you let them trick you into talking about the Bible. Now let me get back to this. Now,
well, I wanted to a little bit. My bad. Go ahead.
Bro, come on, man. Don't let them fool you. In 1859, Charles Darwin published this book, The Origins of Species, suggests that the races were humans from different points of evolution, and Caucasian people were more evolved. A black man in the audience, Mexican man in the audience, Chinese man in the audience. Do y'all really believe that the white man was more evolved than us? But this is Uncle Wes's master teacher and Juju's master teacher. We're not going to let you do it. See, now, like I told you, you cannot prove that the Caucasians was more involved with us. Where's the great ancient great dynasties? They building pyramids and science and mathematics. They Johnny come lately where we got these Uncle Wes's that think he's so educated they can barely say 3 syllables. And you want to get up here and discredit the audience when they ask you a question like you're so much intelligent, but you're the one that's pushing racism. You're the one that's racist, bro. You hate yourself. What's wrong with being black? What's wrong with it, Unc? But see, like I said, they don't want to deal with this. And like I said, this would lead to eugenics. In the 20th century, the most...
No smoke.
Right. They don't want it. Look. In the 20th century, the most glaring example of scientific racism comes from Nazi Germany, like he said. They promoted the eugenics movement, which advocates for improving human species through selective reproduction of only those with desirable traits. Desirable traits. Go ahead, man. Get into it. I'm gonna take a little break because this is your show. I'm just the wingman. I'm the Debo. I'm protected. Anybody come up here, you're gonna get it. Go ahead, Indigenous.
Well, it's still being passed down through, you know, in you know, Galton. Galton was the one who started. So we it's not the Nazis. It's Francis Galton, the first cousin of Charles Darwin. And Margaret Sanger's back in the Margaret Sanger's first clinic was in Brownsville, New York, in 1916. So if the Nazis didn't jump off until 1939, something like that, I think 1916 comes before, don't you? I think the invention of eugenics, as we know it today, came before Hitler. Hitler was admiring America's eugenics programs, and Margaret Sanger was ten-telling back and forth with them. The America's, saying how good the Nazis are doing, and they need to implement their programs. And the Nazis are giving America credit for all this. And Ford, Carnegie, and Rockefeller, and all them, all involved in eugenics and anti-Semitism and stuff. This is what you're dealing with. And these are the origins. These are the people who start off this wicketry. These are names coming from not just the scientific realm, but I even talked about Woodrow Wilson in the 1920s, how he was a proponent or advocate for the KKK, and allowed all this wicketry to come around and come in to America at that time. Told you Margaret Sanger's first clinic was 1916. Federal Reserve was set up under him too. So now I just went to a president for you and show you how that racism played over into his field. So we're not just dealing with science, we're dealing with politics, we're dealing with, you know, your school systems. Yale, Harvard, and all of them, they profited highly off of slavery. Georgetown, oh, you can look it up now. Georgetown is apologizing for their role in slavery. They was all making big money off of slavery. Darwin and Dalton, them too. And then once they acted like they was going against it, as they made all their money off of it.
Let me get in, fam. Let me get in. Now look at this, y'all. Let me give you a little bit of history of scientific racism. Unc West. Your favorite guy that you every time he come on here, you know he put up this Charles Darwin book. That's his Bible. But did he not realize that they're teaching that Caucasians were more evolved than us? That is a problem to teach you're giving out misinformation, bro. That is outdated information. Charles Darwin, all of them.
No, I'm saying who said that Caucasians was more evolved than us? Don't tell me the Pseudo Killas said that.
Wait, no. Did you just hear me read what? Okay, let me read it to you again, bro.
Yeah.
This is the all right. Come on, man, because this is important. We can't just skim over this. Now, I just read it to you. Let me get back to it. We're not gonna do this today. Y'all come up here and ask all the questions you want, and you're gonna get your head bust. We ain't talking about no Bible today. Now, here it is right here. I thought you heard me when I said it the first time, so I'm gonna say it again. Scientific racism is co-opting of scientific authority to justify racial inequality. Throughout history, people have used pseudoscience and biased social studies to try to prove that the white race has biological superiority over other races. Now, I gave you the name of the guy. Let me go back to that page. Okay, I ain't on that page no more. Hold on, let me see. Okay, so now watch this. Now I'm gonna give you a little history of it. I'm gonna let Indigenous Blackman come back on here. All right. Now the history of scientific racism, ladies and gentlemen. Racial division in science can be traced back all the way to the 17th and 18th century, where scientists like Carl Linnaeus, John Frederick Blumenbach wrote about the various races of men and what's to differentiate them. Right? These observations, then listen to this, of racial differences were not suggested to promote racial superiority. However, in fact, both scientists argue that, that all of them promoted unity rather than discrimination, which is a lie. How can you preach unity and you got one putting one over the other? It was in the 1800s that some scientists began to propose that they had evidence to prove that some races were biologically predetermined to be more mentally capable. Oh my God. Did y'all hear this? DZ, while you're in the audience, you better come up here and explain this. Seven Asar, you better come up here and explain this. Let me say you this, Seven Asar. I heard you yesterday say, well, they know how to get to JJ because he's emotional and they can just interrupt him and that's how you get to him. Well, guess what, sir? That's in a discussion. I don't really do discussions. I don't shadow box. I get in the ring, I debate. And that's when JJ Cook. Now let's keep it going. Now look at this. Scientific racism in the 19th century, ladies and gentlemen. Franz Joseph Gall developed cranioscopy, which is later renamed phrenology. And this is pseudoscience, y'all. But so why don't we examine these people that's coming up with these ideologies? Because guess what? If you want to sit up here and use these guys to be as your teachers, then you're degrading yourself. You hear me? Because they got you at the bottom.
Let me add this. The Chronicles.
Bottom to the bottom. Now you hear? Go ahead.
Yeah, you hear me, JJ?
Yeah, Cook. Go ahead, Cook.
Y'all hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, Cook.
When he's talking about phrenology, I told you who created craniometry. That's Johann Friedrich Blumenbach. Okay, so now when I'm telling you who created phrenology, these are the origins of these things. These are the origins of these things, okay? And the Chronicles of the Discovery of Guinea, the Chronicles of the Discovery and Conquest of Guinea, I'm sorry, y'all. And that was a book written in 1453, ladies and gentlemen, by Gomez de Zurara, Zurara. Gomez de Zurara. and he's one of the main contributors of the invention of race as a concept or theory. Okay, created the term African race in Lagos. Okay, that's where that comes from.
Yeah.
All right, and then this is around the same time as these papal bulls. See, the Verses was written in 1452. That's one that goes with the transatlantic slave trade. Then you have Roman Pontifex, which comes in 1455.
We're not ready.
All right, 3 years later. And then in Inter Cartera, Pope Alexander VI in 1498. That's the one y'all talk about. But there's three of them that justified this wicketry. And here's the beginning of your lie. Just like I said, created the term African race in Lagos, Gomez de Zazora in 1453. And then your Catholic Church, who calls themselves Christians.
AI writes my copy in seconds, but resize
is enslaving people and doing all this wicketry and throwing Mary in front of Jesus. No different than Islam, taken from the Bible, but putting Jesus down when Jesus is all up in your scripture.
Look, don't give them no opportunity to talk about the Bible, bro. Now watch this. I'm gonna answer something as a question. He said, "Who said that?" Nah, I found it. This is Uncle West master teacher and Juju master teacher and all the pseudo killers. We pseudo killers. See? Now, in 1859, DC said we don't understand that science has evolved. Okay, we know that different things change in science, DC, but when you keep getting up here talking about Charles Darwin and he taught us that we were Africans, he taught us that we were from the motherland, this is misinformation, ladies and gentlemen. Now watch this. Here go your answer to your question.
Darwin told us that we came from the motherland. That was what Uncle said.
How about fell out?
You wouldn't know.
Right. What is this? This is comedy hour? Hold on, let me get him. Now listen to this. This is your master teacher. Oh yeah, I like you said you're the Lions Den champion, but bro, watch this. In 1859, Sonetta, remember you asked who said this? Sonetta, you listening? Darwin published the revolutionary book, The Origin of Species, and guess what he suggested? That the races were humans from different points of evolution. And Caucasians people were most evolved, Sonetta. This led to social Darwinism. Nepal know this, which was a set of ideologies based on this evolutionary concept that justified racism and social inequality. And you want to get in front of us with this goddamn nonsense. Now we're bringing you out all this information, and you still in the audience, DZ, sitting there with the cognitive dissidents, Seven Asar, Unc West, Gilly Gucci, whatever your name, all the little crew over there who's claiming that scientific literacy. What's the definition of a scientific theory? A theory is just a theory. It might have been tested, but it don't make you guys talk in absolutes. We're not doing that.
You want me to hit him in the head, JJ?
Yeah, get in. Go ahead.
All right, then look, y'all. We dealing with isms. See, this is what I'm telling y'all. Y'all may not understand what I'm saying, so what I'm going to do for y'all is I'm going to give y'all the definition, all right, of ism and theory, all right? Now, an ism, these are a couple of definitions. A doctrine, a distinctive doctrine, cause, or theory. Theory. A distinctive doctrine, cause, or theory. Now, listen to this one, y'all. This is the funny one. Y'all gonna like this one right here because this is exactly what they are and what they do. This is number 2 in Merriam-Webster. If you're wondering where I'm getting these definitions, it's straight out of Merriam-Webster. So if they arguing, they're gonna be arguing with Merriam-Webster. Number 2 is an oppressive and especially discriminatory attitude or belief. That's an ism. Racism divides by color. Feminism divides by sex. Nationalism divides by country. An oppressive and especially discriminatory attitude or belief. Here's 1C. Prejudice or discrimination on the basis of a specified attribute, like racism or sexism. Number 3, doctrine, theory, religion, or cult, like Buddhism or Darwinism. Huh? There you go with your isms. There's your isms right there. They're telling you that they're wicked. Huh?
Blonde hair, blue
For you
eyes.
against y'all get it. An oppressive and especially discriminatory attitude or belief. Discriminatory, prejudice, or discrimination on the basis of a specific attitude. These are the definitions of ism. Now let me go to theory for you, since they want to sound so smart and say, "Oh, well, it's not a scientific theory." Anyway, number one is superficially fair, reasonable, but often deceptively so. They're telling you it's superficially fair, reasonable, but often deceptively so. Number two, a belief, policy, or procedure proposed or followed as the basis of an action. His method is based on, this is in the sentence, his method is based on the theory that Darwin created. A hypothesis assumed for sake of argument, assumed. Hypothesis, see these words? Hypothesis, assumed for the sake of argument or investigation. An unapproved assumption, conjecture, abstract thought, speculation. Huh? And these words that they use in hypothesis, an assumption or concession made for the sake of an argument. Here you go, concession, compromise. Other synonyms for theory: guess, hunch, construct, suspicion.
Bring it out.
Like I said, you got synonyms. Synonyms of construct is devise, invent, think up, produce, come up with, and this is a definition of a theory, right? This is in Merriam-Webster. Okay, so I'm telling you what it says. It's construct. Okay, so a construct, synonyms: devise, invent, think up, produce, come up with, fabricate, cook up, trump up, hatch, ad lib, improvise, imagine.
Let me get in.
Now,
Let me get in. Let me bounce. Go ahead.
When I say suspicion, that's what they say it is. They say that synonym of suspicion is unbelief, and that's what they're dealing with in atheism, and that's an ism too.
Oh, we're gonna get that later.
From God, that's the vision. That's the vision from God. But anyway, that's another ism for you. Now, and when we go to suspicion, it's doubt, mistrust, skepticism, distrust, disbelief, concern, anxiety, unbelief, distrustfulness, mistrustfulness.
You said skepticism, but there's
truly evolving. Hold up. Last thing. The only thing truly evolving is the lie the theory of evolution spews.
All right, let me get it. You said skepticism. We have a community of skeptics. Now watch this. Charles Darwin and the scientific racial. My foot stand on Charles Darwin's neck. Charles Darwin theory of evolution by natural selection was unfortunately intertwined with prevailing racist, you hear that now? Racist ideas, contributing to the framework of scientific racism. Oh my goodness. Pseudoscientific ideology. Hold on.
Go ahead. My bad, JJ. My bad, brother.
Because that's how we got to get it in. It's cool. Now, a scientific ideology that attempted to justify European.
What if you can create your own website by saying, "This is what I want."
DZ, 7 star. Yeah, I won't smoke with both of y'all. I don't like what you said. Now listen to this, y'all. I'm going to read slow. Scientific ideology that attempted to justify European colonial dominance. And you mean to tell me, Sarnetta, that we're going to keep letting this guy come up here and push this nonsense? Are you serious? And look at this, y'all. Just to justify European colonial dominance and hierarchy and racial classification. Are you serious? Let me get one more indigenous. I'm going to let you get back in. Here go the elements of Darwin's writing were interpreted by some of who supported a racial hierarchy. This is embarrassing for us in 2025 to be pushing this nonsense, and y'all want to look at us crazy because we debunking your information. Now watch this, y'all. The interpretations of his work suggest that certain human groups were seen as more advanced than others. DZ, are they more advanced than you? I think so, because I think some of the people in your own race is more advanced than you because you're sitting up here believing this nonsense. And I'm here to school you at the Lions Den Academy of Education and Information. Let me bring it out. Now watch this. Applications of his ideas. Ladies and gentlemen, look at this, y'all. Do not let Unc West and Juju and all. I love Cedric though, but Cedric, you're gonna come to the side over here. And you're gonna be you're Lions Den champion. You're gonna come to this. This is realism. Now look at this. Applications of his ideas were used to justify, you like that, Hassan? To justify the biological basis for perceived differences between human groups. Go ahead, we cook. Go ahead.
Yeah, man, I'm starting to wear down a little bit. You know, I've been saying this for years. I'm like I said, I'm looking at the paper every once in a while, but I'm just coming from the top because I've said this so many times in so many different, shows and arenas and stuff. And I love y'all, man. I just want us to wake up, get up out of these isms, because that is what's, replacing, true wisdom with these BS isms. And I just gave you definitions of them. And I showed you that theory is, it's got negativity all behind its definition too. So, you know what I'm saying, y'all? That this is not if you argue with what I just said, you're arguing with Merriam-Webster, not me, the definitions. And I know that we got to question everything that we're told. That's why we need to do our due diligence, and everything that we told, go back behind it and look it up for yourself. And then that way you can add to the conversation, and you're not being fooled just following somebody's narrative to their demise, because that's what we're doing. We're following these dead oppressors' narrative to their demise. If I'm going to hell, it's going to be because of what I did. Not because of what somebody told me to do or the information somebody gave me. I'm following behind some other man's information. It's going to be because of what I did wrong.
Yeah, let me get it. So you wearing out a little bit, old man. Let 7,000 teach. All right? Because see, y'all, 7,000 get to speak. Huh? You can't interrupt me. And when you get up here, you can ask us a question, but like Uncle D said, I'm going to ask you a question. Do you think that there's another race more advanced than you? You just give me a yes or no. That's what I want to hear. Because if you say no, then you're going against your DZ. You're going against your Charles Darwin. Now watch this, y'all. Now the influence of the contemporary idea, Darwin views were undoubtedly shaped by the prevailing social beliefs and scientific literature of his time, which is often embraced. And guess what I think I'm going to say? Racial stereotypes and hierarchies. Now, in conclusion, we're going to go to conclusion. Darwin's writings provide a framework that can be interpreted to justify existing racial ideologies. Oh, my God. And you mean to tell me you're going to get in front of us, Uncle West? This is why you won't get in the ring. I don't even want to debate you. I'm going to teach you. Uncle West. Now, watch this. Darwin's writings provide a framework for racial ideology. Yeah, I don't care. You're not going to get around. They were just because he was racist don't mean that we can't deal with his science. You sound like a fool. Uncle West, you're not ready for me, bro. Now look at this. His ideas about natural selection were applied by others to justify I think Indigenous fell off, sir.
I'm here.
Oh, okay, thank you. So now I hope you're listening, because you come on, bro. We got to stop these guys. Because remember, these guys that he bringing in front of us are saying that we are less advanced than other races. How can we? Come on, bro. Now watch this.
Hold on, JJ. Listen.
Go ahead. Now go ahead.
Oh yeah. Sidenetter, like I said, Blumenbach was the one who said we degenerated from white, right? The original color of man was white because skulls were white. And I have not met a skull, like Dr. Joyce DeGrasse said, I have not met a skull that wasn't white on a human, okay? But that's why he said that. He said we come from white people. Now, we know that, people as dark as...
Go ahead.
Disney Plus is your home to everything Frozen. Every story, every song,
Yeah, the darkest people on the planet can have all shades of people, but what happens when two white people mate? The only thing that's going to come out is another white person, so that's a big lie. We know it, and science would even tell you the same thing. Even the scientists today would tell you the same stuff. So you ain't using your head when it comes to science. Like I said, y'all just go walking behind these guys, following their narrative, and believing whatever comes out of their mouth. Letting them define you and tell you who you are, how to live, and where you come from.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, DZ, I see you in the eyes, bro. You're going to come up here and defend this. The first thing I'm going to ask you, are these other races more advanced or evolved more than you? Because when you try to defend these Charles Darwin and these Linnaeuses and all that, this is the framework of their teachings. This will make you look, but this is why I get so upset, Sarnetta. Now look at this. His ideas about natural selection were applied by others to justify what, Sarnetta? Perceived racial inequalities and the dominance. They want to dominate over certain groups. This is why I get so mad. But y'all, JJ, he emotional and all that. You got damn right. I'm passionate about this information. I'm passionate about our people. I'm passionate about teaching them the right information and not this outdated racial goddamn discrimination crap that Unc West, Juju, and Cedric, you my champion, but you too. I love you because you won the belt fair in school. But I mean, Lucy, you got some explaining to do.
See, you got some explaining to do.
And so now, look, we're gonna do another show, really breaking down, going through more
Let me do this real quick, JJ.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I think it's time to open up because Indigenous getting tired. Let's get them. Let's get the
read
people.
the comment on the board, Sarnetta. What's that?
No, that's why I put it up there. Go ahead.
Okay, you want me to read it? It says, hold up, Indigenous. It says, I agree with JJ on this point. There is a difference between white science and black science. Aaron Wilson.
Amos Wilson.
Yeah, I can't see it. Amos Wilson. What's the other one says on it? I need my glasses. Jacob somebody.
Jacob Carruthers.
There you go. So and this is another
same thing that
Jacob
we're doing the
Carruthers
same thing
talked about this.
Go ahead, Indigenous.
The same thing as these wicked scientists are doing and adding color to science. When science there's good and bad in everything. Even our Planned Parenthood, some of the things that came out of it, helped and benefited. And science, there's good and bad in science. I'm not against, it's not white and black. It's the weaponization of science to promote a narrative. That is what it is. Just like they weaponized Mendel's theory, like I said, just like I'm telling you who the origins of these things and the people who started these movements. There ain't no question on that. And you can talk till you blue in the face. There ain't no getting around that. This is all well documented, all well forced, and all that.
All right. Watch this. The legacy of scientific racism, fueled by the interpretations of Darwin's work, continue to influence scientific and social thought for many years. Now, it is crucial to critically examine this, ladies and gentlemen, the historical context and evolution of these ideas. Like he said, evolution of these ideas. That's evolution of these false ideas. And to understand the impact of Darwin's work on scientific racism and its lasting consequences. Oh, man, y'all getting beat up.
All right. We're going to open up the floor this time. The first one we got in the building is Asar. 7 Asar. What up, man? You got a question?
Peace. I got about 3 questions, if I can ask.
Yeah.
These 3 questions. First, I want to say peace to you, Sal.
Peace, brother.
And whenever I come anywhere, I say peace. I come in with peace, even to my ops. So I'm going to say peace to you, Mandika Mali, 7,000. And peace to you, Indigenous Blackman. My first question would be, what, you guys are not with the out of Africa theory. What's the name of your theory of how human beings came upon this planet?
Good question.
All right, let me get that. All right. Now, y'all see what they want to do? Now, we're talking about scientific racism. And you didn't even come up here.
Answer the question, Mandinka. He asked a good question.
Okay. there is a this is what I believe. There is a creator. I ain't gotta call him Yahweh or Uba Dumari, but there's something out there greater than himself, Seven Asar, that created things on earth that we cannot understand or even begin to fathom. But you want to go with these theories and think that they're supposed to be correct. I'm going to go by this racist guy theory who put me at the bottom. Me mean you, mean being our people. So you don't look very intelligent when you get up here and you're trying to defend this nonsense. Now let me ask you a question. We got to do that yesterday when Unc did it. So let me ask you this: do you believe that Darwin's theory that some races were more evolved than others? Go ahead, you got the floor.
Do I believe that Darwin's theory that some races were evolved more than others? I can't really answer that question because I haven't really studied the evolution of how races are, so I couldn't really answer that question. Now, can I answer my second question?
No. Let me go to the next person. You're not dominating today. You're not doing that. This is our show. We're going to Keon. Go ahead, Keon.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. Let me say something. Let me say something to Seven Asar. Seven Asar, I don't know how long you've been here, bro, but I told you who created race. All right. Now in the Bible, the term race was used, but I think it's Romans 9:3. When it in the NIV. Now this is the NIV version, not KJV, but it meant a race. An athletic event. But then Johann Friedrich Blumenbach took it, weaponized the term, and put humanity into 5 different races. So why are you still regurgitating the term race when we know where it comes from? There is no reality in the term race, dividing you by color, racism, and ism, division. Okay? I've already went through all of that. It's not hard to debunk all that retarded, all of that craziness. I'm giving you the origins of these things that you don't even know about.
Notice they didn't answer the question. Notice they deflected the question with going into other things because they have no answer, because they have no theory. You can go on to Keon.
Nothing.
Oh, you didn't answer the question. You running and JJ is running. That's why JJ didn't want me to continue to talk because he's scared. He don't want to hear rebuttal. He just want to talk and talk and talk. And if anyone challenges him, he's going to get emotional.
Are you still believing
as he always does?
Because
I'm trying to ask these questions, and you guys obviously don't want to answer them, right? Because you don't really want to be challenged for anything that's intelligent.
So hold on. All right, y'all gotta let the people ask the questions though. Y'all gotta. That's the toughest environment. Y'all gotta be able to take it. All right, go ahead.
I answered this question. I answered this question.
No, I don't think nobody answered this question. He talked about if you don't believe in the out of Africa theory, then what is your theory? What do you suppose? That's what he asked you.
Well, if he was here earlier, he would know.
What's the name of it? Name the theory. Name the theory.
Hey, quit talking, man. Like I said, why don't you jump out there and jump in the ring instead of sitting up on the panel asking a whole bunch of questions and holding.
We could debate this. We could debate the name of your. We could debate the name.
Let me finish.
Hold on.
Let me finish. You don't have no accountability for what you
move around.
You hold everybody else accountable for what they believe by asking a whole bunch of questions. Let's ask you some questions. Why you got the hair sitting on top of your head like your barber is Phineas's barber from Phineas and Ferb?
Oh, come on, man.
Your hairline gets behind, because I heard you talk shit about me. You said, he's scared. Oh, some people are agents. Man, you don't know me. That's the only reason why I just went at you like that. But like I said, I gave you the answer. I told you who started this. And I told you that I believe which started in the Middle East, according to the Bible, like what we call the Middle East today, and in Africa. That's my belief.
Now let me ask. Now let's go to the next person. This ain't a show for you.
We're gonna come right back to your song. All right, Keon, you up next.
Go ahead, brother Keon.
All right, Keon fell asleep. Deez, you up next, Deez.
What's up, brother Saw? What's
Peace,
up
man.
to everyone else on the panel? Go ahead. Y'all want to ask me a question first, or you want me to ask
No, you asked them the question.
Oh, you want me to ask them a question? All right. The first question I will ask is, let's see what's one.
Peace, DZ. Peace, brother.
Peace. Y'all laptop and cell phone.
Owning plasma today and receive up to $700 your first month. CSL Plasma. Do the
Does your laptop and cell phone work?
Okay, let me get that, bro. Ladies and gentlemen, see what I'm saying? Now, we're not saying that inventions created by Caucasians that we won't use. We're not saying it. And a lot of these inventions were stolen from us. We just didn't get the patent, right? No, we're not saying that. What we're saying, the ideas that's coming out of these books is a problem, sir. When you're getting up here promoting Charles Darwin, I just told you that he said that Caucasians were more evolved than any other race, especially the black man. Do you agree or disagree with that?
Okay, I will answer that. I
Go
disagree with that. Now, actually, anyone who's scientifically literate disagrees with that. I don't think anyone has believed in that since like the damn 20th century. We're in the 21st century now.
Okay, so those books are outdated, right?
Those
books are outdated, right?
Those books are a building ground for what we currently have.
Okay, well, let's
Everything
talk back
was
and forth.
not 100%.
Okay, so it's a building ground. Okay, so it's a building ground for who? Who gets the advantage of those books? Do the black man get the advantage of that book, or do the Caucasians?
Whoever reads it. You can go to school and read it and apply the.
No, I didn't ask you that, bro. You give me the. So you're saying that? Okay, well, hold on. So you said, okay, that's good answer according to you. Now, so you're saying that you would read a book that's telling you that you are less advanced than another race. That you're okay with that? Yes or no?
Long as there are subsequent books that came afterwards that built upon it and also corrected that.
Okay, what books built upon that? What books did these people wrote after that to prove that that was false? Go ahead, name me the book. Name me the book, sir. Or you going to have to move along?
I don't have.
All right, next person. That's it. I know it. Let's go to the next person.
Book now, but anyone who
okay, well, that's okay. It's gonna be all right. It's okay, sir. It's our show.
Hold on, Mandinka, let me run the show, brother. You gotta allow the people. Hold on. You gotta allow the people to ask you a question, whether you agree with them or not, because it'll be called scared and running. You don't want them to think you're running from the question.
You should have told that to Uncle yesterday when he didn't want to answer nobody's question.
All right. Deez, you finished?
Can I say something to DZ?
Hold on. Hold on. Deez, are you finished?
Yeah, I am.
All right, go ahead, Indigenous. Indigenous?
If y'all talking to me, so I can't hear because I know this phone is kind of just like messing up.
All right, let me get it.
Yeah, we're talking to you, Indigenous. Go ahead. We can hear you.
Not yet.
We can hear you, brother. Go ahead. Okay.
I can't hear you, but I see y'all waiting on me to talk. So I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this real quick because it sounds like it's like robotics on it.
Everybody mute their mic, probably. Everybody mute your mic.
DZ, science, out of science, there's good and bad, brother. There's good and bad in everything. People, knowledge, all of that. You know what I'm saying? We're not going at science, and putting black or white on it like they did with race. Putting colors on things and separating us through racism, which is another one of your isms, brother. You my brother, man. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, we need to wake up to these terms that we're using and we don't even know the definitions of. You know what I'm saying? We were repeating the mistakes of our ancestors and not passing on, passing on the good. We still passing on the crazy. So, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to go at you, DZ. You know what I'm saying? That's all.
Real quick, I have one more question when I get a chance.
Go ahead. Ask your question.
Oh, thank you. We don't have to just listen to what science says on evolution. Do we not have they not provided proof and evidence that evolution is a real thing? That's my question. Have they not provided proof and evidence?
Okay. I mean, are you saying that it's absolute? Okay,
No.
That's rhetorical. That's rhetorical. Okay. So what I'm saying to you, if it's not absolute fact, I cannot just hold that as the holy grail. I'm gonna do some more research to see if this is real. To see, you know what I'm saying? So, but you guys hold this as a holy grail, and this is the know all be all. When we're telling you that the people who came up with this idea, these books, had an agenda, DZ. The agenda was to prove that they're more superior than the black man. That's just the bottom goddamn line, bro. And I reject that information. 7,000, the Lions Den goddamn CEO, the HOK GOAT, and Indigenous Black Man, the Lions Den fact checker. We disagree with your books that y'all put in front of the community.
You got something behind me? You got something?
Yeah, somebody need to mute their mic, please.
All right, go ahead. That was Indigenous. Go ahead.
Okay. So you're saying that we can learn from these books? I reject the book that is saying that I'm at the bottom. Once I read that, the book is getting burnt, like West burnt Sean's book. I liked that today. But I'm saying, I'm not going to pick up a book that is telling me, oh man, you know what? These people are way more superior than you, and here's why. When it's not backed by real science. That's my answer, bro. And we want our people to come out of that. I mean, you can take some good things out of some of them books, but there's more bad in it to hurtful to our people than it is good. And this is why I'm so passionate about it. This is why I represent African spirituality. 7,000 has transitioned over to Ifa. I'm going to Ifa spirituality. I'll put up Ifa spirituality against atheism. Which one is better and beneficial to the black community? Anybody wants that debate, they're going to get their boots smoked. Now, who on next? Who got next question?
All right, let me move on over. Apostle, and then we got Lex. Apostle, let's go. Unmute yourself, Apostle. Unmute yourself, Apostle.
Elder, you got to unmute yourself, champ. All right. Okay, go to Gideon then until you can get his.
Apostle, you got to go out and come back in.
No, he can unmute. Go ahead, champ.
Champ, what's up? Y'all don't hear me?
We hear you. We hear you.
Okay.
We hear you, champ.
It was turned down. I'm sorry. It was turned down. Great show. Some of it confusing, but for the most part, great show. I enjoyed it, especially when y'all was talking about evolution. I know when I was in school, man, we talked a little bit about evolution and the difference between micro evolution and macro evolution. So either one of y'all could take that point of view and explain that to me as if I didn't know what micro evolution is and what macro evolution is. Explain the difference.
Okay.
Michael.
Yeah, I got it. Supposedly, micro evolution means that things evolve gradually over time, right? Now, the macro part, I might have. I'm sorry, did you say something?
Yeah, it's the other way. Macro is over time. Micro is instant.
Okay, yeah, there you go. So what I'm saying,
micro is things that happen instantly, like the Calabilla to the butterfly.
Correct me when I'm wrong. Correct me when I'm wrong. I said, correct me when I'm wrong. I'm here to learn.
No, I wasn't correcting you. Go ahead.
No, you did. You did. I had it backwards. So I'm humble enough to say I got it wrong.
That's why I did that, because you was on it. But it's a little different. Macro evolution is man evolving from a monkey, which doesn't happen. Things of that nature does not happen. They can't prove it happened. Nobody has been living long enough to see macro evolution take place. Now we can observe micro evolution. We can see it in our lifetime. Even a baby evolving to a grown up. This is micro evolution.
Peace, Jim.
So with these people getting off and this common ancestor, I want to know what's the common ancestor? Is it still a monkey? What
common ancestor?
Right.
That wasn't a question. That
boy, y'all be scared, man. Damn, bro.
I know, you're too knowledgeable for us right now. Let us.
I just looked up that I'm 60% same as a banana. There's another vegetable that we're like 95% origin with, and these are vegetables.
Now, you know the title of this show is about scientific racism, right? So we're not going to get off track because we're going to hold them accountable to their leaders. Yeah. We're not going to talk about no Bible. We're not talking about. We're talking about the origins of this scientific racism and how they put us at the bottom. Let me ask you this, Elder. Go ahead, Tim.
Because I haven't brought up the Bible, although I did.
No, I'm just telling it to the audience. Yeah, you're right.
No, because just because we share DNA, I mean, we got like 48 to 46 different as far as chromosomes with a chimpanzee. They got 48, we got 46. Somehow they got more than we got. We must have lost to in our creation. But to say that, I mean, dog, chicken, you take a dog, a chicken, and a pig, and DNA wise, that can match.
It's unusable DNA. That banana stuff. That's what it is. That's what it is. When you say he comes into the banana, go ahead, Tim. Go ahead.
Indigenous Blackman said it. Everything on this planet has an association. We're all connected. Right. Even a tree. Right. We all share common habits because we are all created on this planet.
That's what common ancestor means. That we are all connected, brother. That's what it means. See, you don't stab yourself. The only
come on, you have to do that. Let us say it today. Then you'll have to do a personal show on that.
I got to be. Gotta have association with this planet in order for this planet to nourish me. The Creator knew that. I eat from this planet.
With Asana, AI teammates can pull real-time data and help keep work.
Now, can I ask you a question? We got other people, Elder. Can I ask you a question?
Yes,
do you feel, because I'm asking everybody, do you feel that there was other races of people or species of people that evolved faster than others? I mean, do you feel, and in these teachings, they said that Caucasians were on the top. Would you agree or disagree with that, sir? Champ?
You know I disagree with that, man.
You got to get it on record.
Yeah, Mandinka. I disagree with that. But yes, there are humans on the planet that evolve quicker than other humans. I don't know which one that is, but I know it ain't no damn Europeans.
Well, yeah, okay, because think about it. But I'm saying these books, 3 seconds. But I'm saying these books that Uncle West, Juju, and my champion Cedric are using that we're not on the top. These books shouldn't be evolved around us. They should be in somebody else's community, like Vocab Malone's or somebody. So why are we getting in front of us and teaching the youth that we are lesser people? That's all I'm saying, Sarnetta. And you're right.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
I'm with
okay,
you on
can we go to Gideon? Can we go to Gideon?
All right, we got another one. All right, we got.
I'm going to speak to the apostle real quick.
All right, go ahead. Who's talking?
Indigenous.
That was me.
Indigenous.
I just wanted to ask the apostle. I'll be like, we talk about chromosomes, right? We got 47. We got deer. You know what I'm saying? Like a deer, we would expect a deer to have more chromosomes than a fruit fly, right?
Yes, I don't know.
Yeah. And our assumption, see, this is what they're doing. They're assuming this lookership, brother, because that assumption is wrong.
Right.
Yeah, fruit flies have 8 chromosomes, brother. The southern red monkjack deer has the lowest recorded chromosome number among mammals, 7 chromosomes for males and 6 chromosomes for females. So you see how your assumption just took you away from the truth? And that's all they're doing is assuming.
Hey, and I'm gonna tell you, Mandinka, I don't believe until I hear them say that, but I don't believe Unc would say something like Europeans grow and evolve faster than us. I don't believe that until I hear him say that, brother.
No, listen, but his teacher, he mustn't read the full book, because if he read the full book, he wouldn't be up there gladly putting it in front of us every time. He must have fell asleep on that page.
I know.
Okay, I don't believe he would say that, brother. Come on.
I never did. Listen, Sonetta, please. Hold up, Pop, please. Let me just, I'm 3 seconds, you get back in. I didn't say it came out of his mouth, but his book that he must, ain't no way I'm going to be putting this book in front of our community. And in that book, there's a page saying, oh, you know what? These people evolved faster than us. They're smarter than us.
Mandinka, you've been reading the Bible for how many years, brother? And the Bible says the same goddamn thing, man.
Sonetta, why are you?
Hold on. I'm showing you something. The Bible talks about how great Israelites are and how damn Africans are, brother.
Okay, guess what? We're not talking about that. We're not talking about the Bible. Can you go ahead?
I'm talking about the Bible. Apostle still reads it. And
this ain't Apostle show.
People still read the Bible, but the Bible been talking that all this time.
Okay, so remember you address me. Then you get in. Now, remember that we talk about Israelites and then say, well, what about the Kemetic stuff? You know what you tell me? We're not talking about Kemet. So can we stick to the
talk about the Kemetic stuff? Go ahead.
No, I don't. No, son. I know you want to protect, but I get it.
I'm not protecting. I'm just saying, come on, man.
But we're talking about this. People say, what about the Bible?
Hey,
talking
come
points.
on, man.
Wait a minute, JJ.
Yeah, go ahead.
Wait a minute, JJ. How is Israel better than their forefathers? Because Israel didn't come around until Jacob.
Right, but let's listen. Don't let them trick you about talking about this Bible. The title of this show. I'm gonna keep on the point.
I just answered that question.
Go ahead, let's talk about the whole goddamn Bible. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Joshua, 1 Kings, 2 Kings, First. Let's just talk about the Bible. We're done talking about scientific racism, y'all.
All right, y'all cool out. Let me bring on Lex Vortex. Lex, you got the floor.
Hey, peace.
What up, Lex?
What's up? Hey, great job. Indigenous Blackman, y'all doing a great job. Hey, Sonetta,
thanks, Lex.
Huh?
I said thank you.
Yeah, peace. Hey, shout out to Sonetta for resilience, man. I seen, you was down, you came back, and now Unc is back around, which is interesting. He wasn't around when
he low, or is that me?
Yo, Apostle, we can hear him. You low.
I'm low? Okay.
The Pseudo Killas should be tried for treason, bro, in terms of what they're doing. In terms of what hey, when someone gets a chance, someone pull up the word scientism. What the Pseudo Killas practice is not science, it's scientism. If someone pull up that definition, I'll get into that. And that's a religion. That's a religion. And the reason why a lot of atheists have to hop onto evolution is because they need something to replace the story. Evolution is just their creation story. Another thing, DZ mentioned a cell phone working. That's called operational science. Don't compare evolution to turning on your lights, because you can't turn on evolution. I can turn on my lights. I can turn on my cell phone. I can turn on my laptop. Operational, functional science. Now, in order for you to truly, trust me, I don't deny evolution completely, because there are things that are true, and this is where scientism comes in, how they confuse people. All right. You cannot turn on and turn a monkey into a human ever in life. They can't produce that. They can't show that. So it is a theory. Now, is it backed up by information? So was court cases. You can provide circumstantial evidence to promote anything that you want. Did OJ do it or not? There's evidence that says he did. There's evidence that says he's doing it. Another thing, I pulled open Darwin's Origin of Species and the Descent of Man and showed Ankh and the Pseudo Killas where it literally says out of the book, the white evolved races will eventually destroy the lower black races. And Ankh used to deny this, right?
I talked about that. I talked about that, yeah.
Ankh used to deny this. And one day when I showed it to him, he goes, okay, he's racist. Now what? But he tried to turn Charles Darwin into some type of humanitarian. The truth is, Pseudo Killas want white proximity. They brought a dude, they talk about the Bible, right? They brought a dude on their show named Aaron Ra. Now I'm gonna tell y'all, Aaron Ra is the guy who's actually misleading a lot of these black atheists. He's the one that pulls them in. Now they talk about Pseudo. This dude's a member of the Church of Satan. The Church of Satan. Go look up the Temple of Set. Now, how you gonna call somebody pseudo and talk about gods and then bring a dude on? And when they brought him on the channel, they bowed down and kissed the feet like he was a king. They were going, it's such a pleasure to have you on our show. Cedric almost cried.
Did he blank out or was it just
Listen to me, y'all. Listen to me. Cedric almost cried for this fucking devil white Harry Potter. Hey, sir, somebody pull up. Hey, sir, if you get a chance, this is why they've been silencing me for 10 years, y'all, because I knocked them out. If any of y'all Hebrews know, when I had my debate with Ngozi 10 years ago, ever since then they put a gag order on Lex. That's why Ankh comes on here and tells Sarnetta, don't let that nigga on your channel, because he know they avoid that, because I dedicated my life to studying science. Some of these dudes, they study a little, and I destroyed them 10 years ago. Now now look up Aaron Ra and ask them why did they give him a pass, and why was Cedric crying, and the rest of them chicks, oh my God, it's such a privilege to have you on here, Mr. Aaron. I can't believe it. Aaron Ra, a goddamn Satanist from the Temple of Set. If anybody remembers, do y'all remember a video where there was this group that wanted to put the Baphomet symbol on the White House? Yeah. It was on the new. That's where Aaron Ra comes from. Yeah. And he's led by a dude named Lucian Graves, a Satanist.
Dumb.
Now listen.
Lucy got some
Yo, let me just cook, because I'm about to wrap it up.
Cook, Max.
Cedric has been avoiding me for 2 years. They pick on their bullies. Bro, remember I came on the show, me and Cedric was supposed to debate, and them niggas was justifying, they was justifying the Tuskegee experiment with them giving us gonorrhea, and they were trying to say, it was in the name of scientific discovery. They even co-signed the Tuskegee experiment. Then they promote Big Pharma. They try to say the drugs, they out here promoting the drugs that these people give us, and we supposed to trust these people in the name of science. Bro, look up the word scientism. So what they want, right proximity. They don't use the scientific tools. Listen, a scientist, his job is to give you the data, not to interpret it for you. So when you take the data and you use the tools of science, you can be a scientist too. They try to use this thing called experts. And that's what I call the scientific priesthood. It's no different from the church or whatever. These people have an agenda. It's called social Darwinism, and it's mixed up in their scientific politics. So when they try to say, oh, you just going against science, no, nigga, we going against the racist white crackers behind the information that they're putting it out, you goddamn coons. And let me tell you something. Y'all gonna find out Ankh is a government op. He was in the military. He brings his confusion. I'm telling you, when it comes out, you're going to find out that nigga is here to cause disruption and turn black people away from God. He's a goddamn demon.
Oh, man.
I got a question.
Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Oh man.
Go ahead, cook. Finish cooking, Lex.
Look, no, hold up. Wait a minute. Hold up.
Yeah, he done. He done. He just came in to drop a bomb.
Real quick, I had a special treat for Lex. I got somebody that speaks full Swahili right next to me. And at the end of the show,
not right now. We don't want to hear the Swahili talk. Let me go to the next one.
That bomb, man.
The next one is Ra. What up, Ra?
What up, family? Hey, JJ.
Yeah, family. What's up?
Were you born between 1969 and 1979? If I've been reading this, I'm almost halfway done. This is the Odin Ifa.
Okay.
It's a real good book by Dr. Milana Karenga, if you ever get a chance to grab it.
Yeah, I started to learn, bro. Go ahead, man. Talk about it.
No, that was it. That's all I want, because I heard you say you was into it now. I just recommended that for you. I'm listening. Go ahead. Take me off, son.
Yeah, let me ask you. No, don't leave. No, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Do you believe that there were other races that were more evolved, more than others, or were more intelligent? And they got the Caucasians at the top. What do you think about that?
I just think they won a physical war, so they're using their physical prowess to make that statement. But in reality, no. So we lost. In other words, you know how the kingdom was destroyed. We was brought off into slavery and all this. They colonized the continent. So they just boasting and trying to say because they did that, that's who they are. But it's their word. When we whoop that, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's on and cracking that way. But in reality, we the first people. So it's just like, how can something go higher than that frequency? I never see that.
Peace, Blizzak. Yeah, man. Say something that you need to let us come up here at least once a week.
Yeah, that was damn, that shit that Lex brought out.
And somebody out said you laughed at me. No, that wasn't laugh.
Man, hold on. I did see the white boy that Lex is talking about, but I ain't do no research on him. Evidently, Lex did the research, so I did see the white boy that was that he was talking about. I don't know about the background, but anyway, I saw him. Cobb, what up, brother?
What's up, fellas? Let me tell, man. There's a couple things with this evolution. Number one, there's 3 different kinds. So if you're still stuck on divergence where supposedly a hominid made love to this, or a bonobo made love to a chimp and made a human, and possibly Believigo got involved, and then you get humans, that's backwards thinking. There's 2 other forms of evolution which should be brought up, and I don't know why people never use these. These are the better types. These are the ones science actually uses now. One would suggest 2 parent chromosomes are biologically growing from the same thing, but they evolve differently. And this is why atheists can never produce different kinds, because you can't mix a hummingbird with an ostrich and get a parakeet. You can't mix a whale with a swordfish and get a shark. Different kinds do not exist because you're not made that way. Biologically, you may come from the same substance. You don't have to have a hominid. This is why you can't produce any hominid skeletal factors when it comes to the fossil record. And then you're running around with pill whatever, man, which was supposedly, when we talk about the hold tight, when we talk about the human being supposedly being the greatest when it reaches whites, what they did was they put a chimpanzee with a dog's mouth. It had like some other animal's incisors. It had some type of animal's body. This was the Piltdown Man. This is science lying in front of you. So when you have these issues with science, you have to know how to take things apart. If your hypothesis doesn't fit, we must acquit. There are certain things scientifically that they simply do not have, and this is one of them. So anybody still using, to me, you're backwards. If you're still using this hominid mixed with this, You sound silly to me because you've never seen different kinds produced in nature ever.
So that means one species cannot turn into another species.
Wait a minute, I haven't talked. I haven't talked. I have not talked. I have not
Go ahead,
talked.
Lou. Go
All
ahead.
right. Now, Seven Asar. I'm sorry. Asar and Ka. All right. I'm going to address you in a second, brother. But I want to address what Lex said. No, I'm going to address you now.
Lex is still here. Lex is
Asar and
still
Ka.
here.
I brought up the Piltdown monkey having the human skull and the monkey jaw, brother. And you're right. I mean, that's manipulation, brother. Now, and then Lucy, her hip bones was reconstructed to make it look like she could walk upright. All right, and like I said, Blumenbach is telling us that we degenerated from whites when we know that the darkest people on the planet can have every color of people, but the white people, when the white and white mix, it's just white.
Right.
Now, the last thing for Lex. This is Darwin's theory, Lex. I was talking about it earlier, and I'm glad that you came in and said something about it, okay? Now, I'm going to give you some clarity on this. This is Darwin's theory, ladies and gentlemen. The fact of evolution is the backbone of biology. Let me read that again. The core, the strength. The fact of evolution is the backbone of biology, and biology is thus in the peculiar position of being a science founded on an improved theory, right? Is it then a science or faith? That's Charles Darwin asking that question, Lex. There you go, brother. Like you said, scientism. But go ahead now.
All right. Let me bring Lex back in. I guess he got more to drop.
Skip over Gideon. No, they skipped over Gideon.
No, I know that. Gideon is next after Lex.
I just want to say it's important. I hope someone pulls up scientism, because that will explain a lot of what the so-called pseudo killers practice.
Come on, pull it up. Scientism. Pull it up. Somebody pull it up.
I'm in my truck. Otherwise, I'd have been on it. I'll pull up all of it.
I got it right
pulling
here.
it up right now. Okay.
Thank you.
I'm going to put on the screen. It's the thought of expressions regarded as characteristic scientists. That's all I say, Lex. So maybe El Boy can get a better definition.
Basically, scientism is the philosophy. It's just like that science is the only thing that you can interpret the world through. So it's a religion that says there's no other way.
Senator, why are you doing that?
Everybody mute their mic.
What are you putting up? What is you doing?
I'm showing the scientism video that we did on
No, we don't want. I don't want to see the scientism video.
Everyone, go to Sonetter Studios. The Visionaries. We did a whole breakdown on scientism. For some reason, Sonetter's not promoting it.
Yeah, you went in on them on that.
I can show them this. It's called. We did a video on scientism, and I agree with Lex. We exposed the pseudo killers for being subscribing to scientism. It's called In the Name of Scientism, Exposing the Unintelligent. It's on this channel. So I just wanted to add to the build. It's weird how you keep taking the video down. This is a video we actually did.
I would like to see that, Nepal.
Yeah, we actually went in.
Thank you, Nepal.
Thank you. We did papers. We read the papers on it. So that's all I wanted to say. So you can continue, but it was just strange that you kept taking it down.
Yeah, because I didn't know what it was. That's why I see.
I looked at the definition up. I got it. The definition for scientism is the belief that science is the only reliable source of knowledge and that scientific methods are the only valid way to understand the world. It's a worldview that elevates science above other forms of inquiry, potentially dismissing philosophy, ethics, and religion as less credible or even invalid.
Wow. So what I was saying is,
well, these theories are philosophy, though. These theories are philosophy,
Hold on. Let them finish. Go ahead. What was you saying?
So what I'm saying is they're fooling you when they start talking about science. No, they're talking scientism, because and also what they're not even up on the latest information. And I've been telling them this for years, right? Because if you look at the latest information, even the scientists are saying that Darwin's theory and a lot of things about evolution have to be revisited. For instance, they found out that when you go back 300,000 years, there's no difference in the brains of what they call some of these things they're trying to say that are subhuman. Their genetics are the same. Their DNA is the same. There hasn't been a change in humans in 300,000 years. No change.
Thanks,
The
Lex.
same potential, the same brain, the same, development. And so they've also discovered that one reason why evolution doesn't make any sense because of the arising of when humans are able to speak, right? Which is what they call I think it's the SL53 gene, the ability to speak in 500 and the ability, the things that make us human today in terms of brain and intelligence, they arose at exactly the same time. Impossible to do in evolution. You cannot show me the development of speech. Speech just suddenly arose. And this is the type of problems they have. And what do they call these things? The God of the gaps, which is another.
Getting a degree is important to me because I feel like I'm
operation to explain away what they haven't explained. Oh, that's just the God of the gaps. We're gonna get there.
Yeah.
So, well, if you ain't got there, you ain't there. So we questioning that those portions of the thing. Another thing is when you see white supremacy, when you see Donald Trump and Israel attacking Palestine, carpet bombing the Gazans, that's called ethnic cleansing. They view that's what this is the atrocity of the pseudo killers. That is deeply entrenched in social Darwinism and what they believe is the evolution of the white people having to get rid of these lower races. They're still doing it. They're still doing it. So how you gonna use that and tell us don't question it? It's science when that is the basis of their theoretical Western civilization and imperialism.
I'm about to cry.
Criminals. That's why I've been fighting them for so long. They should be hung in the middle of Congo Square.
Yo,
Sarnetta, we need Lex and Unc on here. We need that back.
Okay, but he ain't ask no question. We don't need him up here. How about Gideon?
All right, Gideon, you up next, brother. What's up?
Yeah, what's going on? Shalom, peace, everybody. All praise to the Most High in the name of Yeshua.
Yo, your mic is underwater. Your mic is underwater, Gideon.
How about now?
Now it's good. Now it's good.
Yeah, I just want to say to JJ and to the other brother, Indigenous, that was a great presentation, man. It made a lot of sense. And it definitely just begs the question from these atheists. But I just want to make a statement, and I just want to say this one thing that we all know, that faith is the evidence of things hoped for, and rather the evidence of things not seen. So what Lex was saying that made a lot of sense. Scientism is faith. That's the missing link. That's faith. That's evidence for something you haven't seen and you can't prove. Just as we say that intelligent design is true, that's faith. But see, this is where it kind of differs at. That Job tells us that Yahweh gives man spirit and he also gives them understanding. So in the very base of understanding, we can look at 4 things that disprove evolution. We can look at how animals are created. They say they evolve. So please explain the evolution of an animal like a quokka or marsupial that abandons its young when it's being chased by predators. Explain the evolution process into that if we evolve from one thing with one thing in mind, and that's to survive. Or rather, we have birds that swallow stones for digesting. I think they call gastroliths. Explain the evolutionary thinking behind gastroliths. Or you have an animal like the evolution of eyes. Right. Or we have animals like a spider tail viper that its tail is basically like an insect that fool birds into coming thinking it's an insect, and then it attacks them. But Yahweh tells us his creation is beautiful. So I need the evolutionists to explain that process. Like birds of paradise, how they make elaborate settings for their mates to impress them. Like, what's the sense of that in evolution? So that right there just kills the whole evolutionist thinking, which I say is white supremacy. And it's a shame that Onk and them believe in that madness.
Okay, I got a question for you. I got a question. Hold on, Dennis, let me ask you the question. Ask everybody. All right, go ahead.
Wait a minute. The definition of racism is white supremacy, brother. All right? Remember that. And when we're talking about atheists, you know, they say an atheist doesn't require a belief in anything. That's what they say all the time, right? And you know what I put underneath that? I said, except for a strong belief that God doesn't exist. That's a strong belief. You believe that God don't exist, don't you?
Yes, I believe.
And you pointed it out, Indigenous Black man. I just want to say 5 seconds, JJ. I'm gonna get up. Like, people don't realize that the reason why they come up with this evolution model is to distance themselves from the original black man. They hate to say that they came from us and they was taught by us, so they want to distance us by millions of years, have you thinking we was walking around not reading or writing for hundreds and thousands of years until they stumbled into Europe. It's madness, but yeah.
Well, to the victor goes in the narrative, man. Whitewashing is a real thing, and to the victor goes the spoils and the narrative. See?
Yeah. Hey, like I say, man, we've been waiting to get this information out for a while. Like when we come up on other, like with somebody else's show, we can't really get it all out. We did a lot of this. We've been doing this for a couple of years now, maybe 3 or 4 years. Talking about this on our channel and different other channels. We finally got to do it on the big stage. And like I say, we're not up here. We give you the chance to interact with us. We're not cutting you off and saying, no, I ain't gonna deal with that. That ain't how we do it at the Lions Den. See, we different from Pseudo Killas. You see, because they have an agenda. Lions Den is a mixed group of everybody, so everybody's thoughts are welcome. Everybody's information is welcome. We're gonna decipher it together. So I hope people are learning and they're just taking a look at different perspectives of this conversation. Because a lot of times, the past couple of years, there's only been one perspective when it comes to evolution and atheism, and they're talking in absolutes, and that's where me and Indigenous have a problem with that.
Yeah, man, Dinka, this definitely turned out to be a good show with y'all two. I like it. Y'all two did good.
You gonna bring us back? We got some.
Hell yeah. And remember, I'm just being the devil's advocate when I go in like that, because I'm trying to turn it up and make y'all go in. That's all it is when I do that. I do that.
John Kenyon.
Yeah, I do that with everybody, brother.
I know you do.
We appreciate you for it, Sinetter. We appreciate you for it too.
Yes, sir.
Because like I said, you let everybody come up and talk, and even though what I'm saying, you let everybody come up and talk, and like I said,
even though I don't agree with all of it, y'all still get to talk. Y'all get your point across.
Hey, everybody, go ahead and donate. Hold on, real quick. Hold on. Everybody, go ahead and donate $1. I'm gonna donate 10, but $1 for this good information that was brought to you today. To help the house of conscience. Come on, man. Can start get the cash app out? Get past the collection plate. You see what I'm saying, man? We gotta learn to support each other.
All right, and y'all see what we got. She ain't got the date on there, but I think it's the 28th.
28th.
I do have the
28th. I know.
Yeah, the date is on.
I know. I keep my ears to the streets.
Yeah, Nepal going up against Ryan. He's been a lion in these streets lately, man. Ryan has been a lion in these streets lately.
Yeah.
But
Ryan been on the war. He just had a debate 2 days ago. But hey, I want you to do Bible study with Uncle Asara here, so we can really go into the book the way it's supposed to be going into.
And then y'all know who we got coming up this weekend. There it is. YK the Truth. YK the Truth.
Okay.
I never heard of him. Real quick, family. I didn't put the name of the guest because we don't want people harassing the guest.
Yeah.
Do not miss tomorrow's show.
Man. Yeah. Tomorrow's show gonna be off the chain. 7 o'clock, Nepal?
I think she said it's 7 p.m. Yeah, Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna confirm just to make sure, but it's gonna be a phenomenal show. It's definitely Juneteenth worthy, and if you miss it, you're just gonna have to get the playback. But she will be here with us tomorrow.
Well, feathers are up right now, but we got the best man for the job. That's why the Truth will be in here, and that's going to be awesome. Y'all don't want to miss that. All right, we got Brother La that just hit the panel. Where he at?
What's up, Brother La?
Brother La, he hit it and came back out.
But
Well, can I say something, Saul? Can I address, because my name was disrespected and dragged, and I need to address it.
Yeah, address it, brother.
I want to speak to Indigenous Blackman.
You're not ready for him, bro.
Okay. Brother, this is the first time we've spoken, correct, right?
It don't matter. It don't matter. You're not
Well,
ready.
let him.
I'm not speaking to you, JJ.
Man,
I had decorum. I didn't say nothing while everyone was speaking. I purposely did not speak.
Go ahead,
have decorum on this show.
Man,
This show.
let him go, brother. Just
So I can speak without being interrupted, as I did for you.
Dad, come on. Let's go.
I'm working on it.
From watching.
I showed you that respect, so please show me that same respect. Now, Indigenous Blackman, you made a claim that I had said something about you, brother. This is my first time speaking to you. The only time that I speak about anybody on here is if I'm speaking to them directly or in the chat, for the most part, unless we're collectively talking about a person. But I've never said anything adverse about you, brother. So for you to come on here, and to disrespect me and use personal attacks, which I don't do, which I can do, I'm very good at doing, but I don't do that because it's about the scholarship on here, not WWE. I don't attack my brothers and sisters on here. We may disagree with information, but I would never attack you, especially behind your back. So I feel I'm owed an apology for that attack you done on me, because whoever told you that, they need to show and prove what I said to you. Show it on a video, show it on the chat. Because I've never said anything adverse to you, brother. And secondly, if anybody on here wants to debate me, they challenge me. No one's challenged me. And if you want to debate, let's debate about who has more information and more scholarship towards their theory. Is it the Outer Africa theory or whatever theory that you have? Because I don't even know the name, right? Okay. Let's debate who has more information, who has more, whose information has been vetted more by journals, whose information has been talked about more by scholars, and who has the consensus and why.
You're
Let's
not
debate
a
that.
part of that.
The call out is real.
You're not a part of that.
Can I say something now?
Hey, stop.
Oh,
When
let's
these
get him.
dudes talk like that, it kills me.
Get him, Lex.
When he talk, they be saying, "Let's talk about the info. We got this, nigga. You ain't got nothing. What you're doing is parroting, bro. And you got to understand, just because someone puts out more information, that's because they got more of the media, more of the propaganda tools to do it. So that's just like if we're in a court cases are won by who spends the most money and who has the most access to influence people. So when you say
if that's the case, then your information should be more sound. If it's about propaganda, then your information should be more sound, and you should be able to present. You should be able to present that your information, though it's not more, it's more stronger information. See, what you're doing is a cop out, right? What you guys doing? You guys have all this information from the Outer Africa theory, right, to critique, but we don't have a lot of information of your theory to critique. You know why? Because people out there are going into this foolishness, into
hold up, hey, bro.
A lot of people have debunked what you guys have discussed, right? You're convoluting eugenics and evolution and making a big thing about it, like you guys are doing something, which you're really not. And you're dominating this conversation, and you're happy that you're able to get your pseudo ideas out, or what you would call the theory.
Like you jealous? And you hold on. Let me say something to him, Shotnetta. This is indigenous.
The brother cut me off
because you was sitting there, and you did.
They scared, Sonetta. They scared.
Can I be heard?
Can you hear me? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, hold up.
Can y'all hear me?
Hold on, Indigenous. Lex was cut off in the middle of his statement. He was cut.
Well, he just came up here and said something to me. He come up here and said something to me, and I'm gonna tell him when he did it and how he did it.
Yeah. I'm speaking to you, Indigenous, because you attacked me, and you speaking like I'm scared to debate somebody. Let's debate that topic. Let's debate that.
All right. Be quiet, y'all. Go ahead, Indigenous.
Now, a star. You will sit here and say, I didn't talk about you. You did talk about me. Sinetta was sitting here, and Sinetta made a comment and said, "Come on up, Indigenous, quit being scared." And you said, "Oh, they're scared. They don't have agents." And some of them could be agents. I heard it with my own ears. I don't need nobody to tell me nothing.
I heard it too.
We'll apologize.
I didn't call you an agent. I didn't call you an agent. That don't mean that I called you an agent. Indigenous. That's the bullshit.
Statement, bro. You cutting people
You
off.
ain't nowhere near on this information right. But you want to come up and
You ain't never like the room with the bright sauce. Hail Mary,
Go ahead, Neo.
with the light brought. Let them roll.
I am the minister of music.
Can't see side of the TV what you can't be. They say that murder on my mind, now they can't breathe. Take a picture of the crew, that's your last peep. Oh, and need me your love, yeah, that's just me.
All right, that's it. We moving on. We moving on.
Get him out of here. He's messing up our show.
No, man, Dinka, relax. I just said that's it. Go ahead, Lex, finish.
One more last thing I want y'all to do not fall for this gaslighting. We're not against science. See, that's what they put these arguments up there, and that's what's confusing people. If we question science, that don't mean people say science is done it. I'm with science, but that doesn't mean. Listen, all the innovators of science throughout history have been scientists that went against Huh?
Hey, Sarnetta, can you get everybody on? I mean, come on, man. Y'all messing up. We did great. I don't want y'all. We want people to watch this.
Did I go out? I can't.
No, you're fine. He's almost done.
Y'all keep cutting people off. Let him finish. Lex, finish.
Now we cut you.
The question is not if you're against science. All the innovators of science were ridiculed by what we call the mainstream scientists when they brought forth new ideas. What the pseudo killers is doing is the opposite of science. Just like Nikola Tesla and Albert Einstein said, imagination is more important than knowledge. So in order for you to advance in science, you kind of have to go against the mainstream ideas in order to move forward. How else will you discover a new energy system? If we go by what science says now, there's no free energy. There's no way there's nowhere to go. If we stay stagnant, what they're teaching is the opposite of science. Science thrives on being challenged, saying, oh no, that idea, I got a better idea. And when that better idea comes, mainstream scientists who invested money in textbooks and said this is where it is, they reject it because there's money involved. And then 20 years later, it comes out that the guy that they call pseudo was right. This happened many, many times. Many times. So don't let them use the gaslighting, oh, y'all are against science. No, we just question everything like a scientist should.
All right. And
say something to Lex.
Hold on.
Can I speak to Lex for a second, please? Lex, I would love to bring you on. We did a build on this before. Doc Too Sweet, Sakina Ra, me. And then the next time we do a build on scientism, we want you to come in. And so Sonetta can get in touch with you. We can email the link to you because that's absolutely 100% correct.
Me and Indigenous ain't invited.
Oh, yeah, of course.
All right.
Every time I talk, you gotta cut. Bro, let me just do my close. Can I close out?
Listen, brother. Listen and be quiet when the host is talking, because you don't even know what I was about to say. What I'm going to say right now is I'm going to allow Mandinka and Indigenous Blackman to close us out. See, that's what I wanted to say. Close the show out, Mandinka and Indigenous Blackman.
My fault, big brother. All right.
Let me go first, JJ.
All right, go ahead.
we know in the American medical system, ladies and gentlemen, that a cure for anything is looked down upon. They might even run you out the country. All right. We know that they give us medicine to make us feel better. We know that these, and it's not just, on one group of people, it's on all of us. The white woman and children are the ones who are on welfare the most. They say that we're poverty. Well, they're the ones who get the most benefits. And they say that we're the welfare queens. It's just stuff like that, y'all. You just wake up and use your head. I love y'all, like I said. And the only reason why I come over here to do this, it ain't because I love my brother Hung too. I'm a big fan of Hung. I go to his show and watching everything Garfield too. But, I want y'all to start doing your due diligence when people tell you things instead of just, allowing them to tell you how it is. Go back and do your own research. And I want y'all to keep y'all's head high, your grass low, and stop lying to my people. And I love y'all. Peace.
Peace. Thank you, brother. Mandinka, close up.
Thank you, Sayonara.
Hey, put the HOK goat on the big screen real quick, man. Because I've been waiting to do this show for a long time, man. So, we finally got to do it. And there wasn't too many interruptions because y'all have heard for a long time one side of this, right? You never, because when they do the show, you never get to hear the other side, the other channels, because they're getting cut off. They don't want to deal with the topic. So we're gonna be back. We're gonna be talking about different things. We're gonna be talking about AI. We're gonna be talking about artificial babies that they're making in these little chambers. It's a whole bunch of stuff. We're gonna be talking about the chips they put in your brain to make you smarter. That's the level we on. We need to be advanced the conversation to those type of topics because us arguing about what happened 2,000 years ago is not benefiting us while they're doing all these new technologies. I seen Nepal and Sister DJ Genesis Lions Women's Champion talk about AI. That's where we need to go because we've been talking about like I say, the past for a long time. It's time to elevate and talk about things in the future. Now, I will say this. Wes, y'all got destroyed today. I mean, it was bad. It was brutal. And it was ugly. But here's one thing I want to say. I had two debates. I guess I'm supposed to be debating Reverend Charles. Is it fair to humanity that we have to get punished for Adam's sin? That's debate I want with Dr. Charles and you, Vocab, since you. Vocab, I want you to get up here and prove that the Israelis are the Israelis the true children of Israel or converts. That's my debate for you because you always jump in front of Israelites, Comedics.
That's a good topic for Vocab, Jay. Good topic.
I'm putting him on defense.
Yeah.
And me and Char, we're trying to get the debate coliseum going. We got Silky versus Anon. We're trying to set that up. We got King Seth versus Judah Natters. We're trying to set that up because they had it lined up. We got a whole bunch of things lined up that we need to really get back going. And like I said, I appreciate to finally get here and talk about this information, and y'all can see our side of it. Like I say, I love you, Sanetta. I love you, Nepal. I love my wife, Jenny Hayes. Peace and blessings, man. We got more real information to come. Shout out to Neo Love, Sister Prima, Lions in the building. Get out your feelings. I'm out.
That's right.
Hear me now. Hello? Can y'all hear me? I'm gonna go out and come back in.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Oh, okay, cool. Good. I can't hear y'all. All right. So I was asking Jay.
Me.
Huh? Is Indigenous still here? Yeah, I only hear you.
Nobody
right.
said nothing. So that's the reason why you didn't
I
hear
was waiting for
nobody.
somebody to say something.
Yeah,
Indigenous, is he there? Oh.
I believe it's
Yeah,
still
ladies
here.
and gentlemen, like I said, I mean, we really put them on the we really exposed them, you know, because you can't keep getting in front of us with this Charles Darwin stuff, and then these books is telling them that we are up underneath a different race of people. I mean, I would never get in front of y'all and promote a book like that or these teachings. So this is why this show is very important for us to bring to the community. You know, because for years and years and years, you got Uncle West, the leader of the Pseudo Killas and the Garfieldites, getting in front of us, tearing down our black scholars, tearing down our black scientists and geneticists. They're not credible. You know, the Ivan Van Sertimas, the Renuku Rashidis, Clyde Winters, Walter Williams, David Imhotep. You know, all of these ones that's trying to give us our real history, not this monkey madness. You know. And I mean, Unc, you should be embarrassed and ashamed of yourself. I mean, what is your agenda, bro? Is somebody paying you some money to get in front of us and try to mislead our people and not let us learn the real science and tear down a creation, a creator, y'all? You want us to believe that we just popped up out of nowhere? Living molecule somehow came together and created life. Abiogenesis. You can't duplicate that. You gotta. I mean, you cannot duplicate that. There is no science that can duplicate that. That is pseudoscience. So go ahead, Indigenous. He got to be gone because he would have said something by now. Jay, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
What you think about that, bro?
I don't know, man. I lean more on the evolution side, honestly. I actually believe in it.
I mean, you got your own. You know what? I guess we're gonna have to keep doing more and more shows so we can beat that evolution up out of you, man. Because, like I say, we're really the main topic was the scientific racism, and they're weaponizing this to use it against your people, my people, everybody's people who are shade of brown, who are shade of yellow and red. They're putting these pinkies as the more intelligent. The brain function is better than ours, and calculation they can compromise and just come up with all this stuff. You know, like we too dumb to come across the Atlantic Ocean without their help. That's all ties in together. These eugenics, all of that. Evolution is
they show evolution. I don't believe in it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but evolution is not absolute. And then the problem they have, there's no transitional fossils. And no one species. When a species is a group, like a species, like an ape, is not going to turn into a man. But they always say, "Well, we're not saying that." Well, where is this missing? Where is this common ancestor? How come we can find every goddamn bone and skeleton in the whole world or everybody else, but somehow this person that's in the middle between the ape and man cannot be found? Did he just die off? Well, why would he die? If he died off, then that means we wouldn't be here.
So JJ, you don't believe in evolution?
It's flawed, bro. I believe in adaptation, but I don't believe a cat can turn into a whale. Can, jump in the ocean and then change. What would it say? A hippopotamus, a four-legged creature can jump in the ocean and then all of a sudden turn into a whale.
But adaptation would be evolution. You have to evolve to adapt. You know what I'm saying?
Who kind of on the same wavelength as us, far as you don't believe in the creator? You don't think that the creator created everything all at once? And he said and he was resting everything.
I mean, I don't believe everything is created. I don't believe everything was the same as it was when it was created, though.
So what is a good point that Unc bring up as far as evolution that got you say, yeah, you know what?
I didn't say I believe in what Unc believe in, bro. I believe in what I believe in. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so let me go ahead. Okay, listen. So you know, scientific racism. Okay, that's the most important thing. And then they come up with this evolution. Now they adding that in there because they want to put themselves on a higher plane, a higher level than us. That's what that evolution shit come from. So we got to look at the big picture.
That's a different. I mean,
no, it all ties in.
It does
But I
all
ain't
tie
mad at
in. It's okay.
No, go ahead, get it in, Jay.
Like I'm trying to think of what I'm trying to say. You know, I'm trying to say it right. You know what I'm saying? Like that there's different views. You know what I'm saying? Some views are wrong, some views are right. Like the
So
racist
where did the Neanderthal fit in the evolutionary process?
it's a different it's a branch off. You know what I'm saying? Just like okay,
A branch. So hold on. Let me before you. No, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead,
like
family.
like you know how we say like we were here first, right? Like you know, like melanated people, colored people, right? So that means that white people weren't always here, but at some point in time, white people popped up. So if you believe in that, then you believe in evolution. You feel me?
Okay.
You get what I'm saying, though?
Okay, so what I'm asking you, it's a belief. It is a belief. I have a belief. You have a belief. It's not
Right,
absolute.
right,
There's no proof, so I
right.
can't. He's like, hey man, you wrong, and I'm right. We really don't. I mean, all we have is our perspective of what from the information that we have, to make these evaluations. A lot of
Because
us grew up and our ancestors, they never taught, you know, we split from. Boy, how did they split? Well, why did they get mad and split up? But that part right there. Okay, it was two apes, right? And one of them
things
went over this
weaken,
way.
brother.
Okay, hold on. So if we put an ape over and got them the Russian zoo, right, where it's all cold and shit, what is it gonna turn to? Because it's not in the same element as a ape in the goddamn tropical. Is it gonna turn into something else, or is it gonna be just a cold ape?
No,
It's just gonna be a cold ape that maybe
your
grow
body,
more hair.
your body's gonna adapt, bro. You know what I'm saying? Your body's gonna adapt. Like say okay, like say you got a cousin, right? Say like your family. Say your family, one part of your family lives here, one part of your family lives there. Over a certain amount of time, there's going to be a difference between this family and that family because of the environment, bro, and what
Okay,
you're
now.
eating and how much sunlight you're getting. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh. Okay.
That you
Yeah.
get what I'm saying? Like
I kind of get it,
you're gonna adapt to your environment and shit. And
and that's what.
some people see that as a change. You know, it depends on what you calling and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like some people say that's evolution. Some people say it's not. But you know what I mean? But there is a change. Like evolution is just a big word for change, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like
So
things change. Things change because you either adapt or you die, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like some things are gonna die off because they can't adapt, and then other things are gonna survive because they can adapt, but they're gonna change to be able to keep on living. You feel me?
okay. Yeah. All right. Let me. You don't. You done? Because I don't want to interrupt
Yeah,
you.
go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So well, I'm gonna ask you this. So we have white people who live in South Africa, and they've been there for hundreds and hundreds, some a long time. Why ain't they changing to some black ass people? That's rhetorical. You ain't got to answer that because we don't know that. That kind of kills that theory. Why? Okay, they've been there. Why ain't they
But
changing? If they
you
should be
gotta
turning
think.
to black people in the
You gotta think
tropical area. They should be
scientifically,
growing
but
afros, huh? They should be growing. Their nose should be getting fatter, and things of that nature. So if we bring an African and and put them over in goddamn Alaska somewhere, which we have them over there. We have African Americans over in Alaska. Why ain't they turning to Eskimo looking people? They still black as hell. Black
but
as hell. So what?
but
Wait. It takes thousands of years. How can they prove that it take thousands of years? They don't even have the people who. They don't have no experiment to say. Oh, there's nobody that's studying that say. Oh well, it's thousands of years. So now they changed to this. So
because
this is an ongoing. Go ahead.
because that same person is not gonna change. But
Oh, come on.
but listen what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying. You put that person over in Alaska, like you said, you know what I'm saying? They're not gonna change, but
Why not?
them getting with, you know what I'm saying, like a Eskimo or something, that changes them, bro. You see what I'm saying? You're thinking of it in a small instead of the big picture is what I'm saying. You do change, bro. Like if you mate with somebody, that offspring is not going to be you. It's going to be a mixture of the change. It's going to be changed, bro. You feel what I'm saying? I don't think you get what I'm saying. I don't think I'm
No,
explaining it.
well, I'm just saying. Okay, so where is this? Okay, so where is this person? Where is this common ancestor? Where did they go? Who's the common ancestor? That's the question.
I don't
That's
have
what
the
I'm
answer.
mind
If
boggled
I
about.
had the answer to that question, I'd be a millionaire, bro.
I got it. So that's why what I'm saying. It's flawed. That theory is a theory. The theory of evolution. That is a theory. It's not a fact. And Uncle West and them running around here like it's a fact. I need to see this middle person. Why did the middle person throw? I mean, we split. Okay, you split. Okay, this monkey went this way, and this monkey chimp went that way. And as he went that way, he somehow did what? Because he's still a monkey, whether he look, they had monkeys in zoos over there and goddamn probably Siberia. They got probably zoos in Siberia. Why ain't these monkeys changing into some snow monkeys or something? I mean, white, like apes is turning
But
white.
they do 7,000. They do.
I see it. So where did this comment at? Okay, so who said that they split? Who said that? Where's the proof of something split? Where is the proof of that? That's just some regurgitated stuff that they say to try to justify their goddamn theory.
I
In
mean,
my eyes.
things split all the time. Like you have cousins that don't look like you, right?
Okay, watch this. No,
But
but
y'all
watch. Okay,
related
watch
though.
this. Okay, watch this. Okay, so how? See, so you saying the weather changes a
Bro,
person to it?
it's multiple factors, bro. The weather, your diet, what you mix in with. You know what I'm saying? You're not
No.
just replicating yourself, bro. You're mixing with something to bring offspring. You didn't just mate with JJ to bring your kids. You had to mate with somebody, so you're mixing
So
something
okay,
else
so
in with you.
right. Okay, so these apes that split and left, who did they mate with? Then somehow the human popped up. Because remember, the same species split one way and one went the other way. So when he went this way, who did he mate with to change? And all of a sudden we have a human. Like all the hair fell out. You know, he started driving airplanes and flying airplanes and buses. I mean, they say, oh, these apes have been around us in zoos. Why ain't they changing? The hair falling out. And they own and they own online and own plenty of fish and yeah, I mean, where I have a lot of questions and I'm not going to accept
Right.
that there's this split because okay, so one ape went this way, left, and the other one went right, and then the one that went right somehow because it was cold. Now all of a sudden, what his monkey hair fell off, and the next thing you know, he started walking upright, while the one that went left just kept being a monkey. It don't make sense to me, but hey, I'm not knocking your theory on it. You know, I'm just telling
They're
you
all
how I feel
theories.
about it.
All of our shit's theories. See,
Yeah.
the thing about us and Unc, bro, is Unc's too arrogant to admit that his shit's not just another theory. You know what I'm saying? He's so arrogant. He's like, it's a fact. You know what I mean? Everything I know is right, and you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's right because I know it. You know what I'm saying? We're smart
Right.
enough to know that even though we think we're right, it's still just a theory to us because we can't prove it all the way. Now,
So
somebody
do
like
you?
he ain't got enough common sense and enough enough humbleness in him to admit that he may not be right. You feel me? That's the difference. That's the difference when it
So
all boils
okay.
down to it.
Apollo, okay, let's give Apollo Vase. Apollo, you woke or sleep? Or I mean, where you at? Him and Indigenous both of the fellas goddamn sleep. God damn. Okay, so I'm gonna say this one more time and then we're gonna end it. I mean, you know, we're gonna get up out of here. We've been on for 3 hours. Like I said, this main thing was about the scientific racism, science being weaponized against our people. And they put it so do you feel that with this evolution process that one's race of people or a species, they say we all different species, like the white folks, this is what these books say, the white folks was a species, the black folks was a species, Chinese and red man was a species, right? Now they evolved according to this book, they highly evolved faster, they're more genetic, they're biology or what do they say? Genetics. All that is more advanced than us. This is what this book teach. And this is where I have a problem with that because there's no proof of that. Matter of fact, if you go, like you say, adaptation to the weather, right? According to their science, right? That, over time, the skin lightening, it was a genetic mutation that caused the lightening of the skin. It's a genetic mutation. Right.
That is what it is. If that was
So
the case,
why? Okay. So listen. Okay. Right. So now we're gonna go back to South Africa. They had generations and generations and generations and generations and generations of children there. Wouldn't they be coming out because they're adapting now to this hot weather? Their nose should be getting fatter. Their little straight hair should be getting kinky and puffed out. That's not happening. But the thing with evolution, this missing ancestor, this common ancestor, when they went left and then one went right, who did they mix with? Where does this common ancestor come from? Because there's two of the same. One went left, one went right. Okay, now where's this middle one? Where's that at? That's all I'm asking. I'm not trying to put you in the hot seat because we just want proof of this middle person. Well, we have a common. Who's the common ancestor? Why we can find skeletons? They should have been and ran across some goddamn skeletons. They can find a monkey skeleton. They can find human skeletons, but they can't find this thing in the middle. They can't find it in the middle. But like I said, that don't even make sense because they say they split. One monkey chimp went left. One monkey ape went right. Now, when he went right, what did he do? And then here's the crazy part: like say they're in the tropical places where these apes in the jungle, whatever. One of them went left and started and headed towards East Africa, and then one of them went right and headed to West Africa. Okay, so what weather conditions? They're the same goddamn hot weather conditions, right or left. You see, so. What there's no what's the possibility of this changing to something else? Now, how did the human come up out of that?
You got to also factor in time, though, JJ. Millions of years, bro.
Okay, well, you're going to have to give me. You got to give me some factors of time.
JJ, do you know that? Okay,
how long has apes been on Earth?
How do you know that a million years from now we're all going to look like this? You don't know that because
nobody knows.
Exactly.
Nobody knows, and that exactly. So exactly the same thing I can say.
You weren't there a million years ago to know if all that shit would look the same and if it was still different, how much it changed. We're all guessing, bro.
So what I'm asking you, where is the split? Did the monkey cross the ocean? The one that went West Africa and then they went. Okay, where did he go? His ass had to stay on the continent. He couldn't swim. Okay, so one of them's in West. Okay, so what? Okay, how about this?
I'm not the nigga saying that I got all the answers though. You need to be.
Okay, well, this is for the people that's saying it, bro. I'm just saying. I'm asking questions. I'm putting it out there because it makes no sense to me. Because on that, okay, so where are apes located? They're not in America, are they? Okay, so they're on the continent of Africa, right? Right. So if we started in the middle of the Congo, right? Say the middle of Africa, right? And these two groups of apes say, "Hey man, we want to go this way," and no man, we're going this way. So one of them went west as far west as they could, and they ended up in Benin. And then the other one went all the way to goddamn what's the east? East Africa as far as east, right? Because they couldn't went to Madagascar unless they swam over the motherfucker. So we gonna say the farthest east that they can go. Now they're stuck there. The weather conditions is still the same, or almost exactly the same in East Africa as it is in West Africa. The climate is still the same. The sun is still burning your ass. Now,
Okay, but
now we
JJ,
have a problem.
how comes you don't look exactly like your ancestors do, though, JJ? Why don't you look exactly like your ancestors did 1,000 years ago?
Us look exactly the same.
Why don't you
No,
look like?
okay,
Why don't
so
you? But answer me that though.
okay,
Answer me that.
okay. Well, I'm finna
Don't
ask
you?
you.
Why don't you?
Why don't we look? Because nobody look at, because I'm not a twin. I'm not a twin to look exactly the same. So even if I was, I mean, who
Well,
said that everybody look? Who,
why aren't you the same height as your ancestors? Why don't you have the same amount of hair as your ancestors? Why aren't you the same complexion as your ancestors 1,000 years ago?
I don't know what my ancestors looked like 1,000 years ago. But I
Exactly.
know goddamn well he didn't turn to another species. He didn't turn. Okay, so this ape, what's the probability of an ape turning into a human?
But JJ, you don't know if they did or they didn't, though, is what I'm saying. you don't know. You're guessing just like everyone else, bruh. You don't know if they
So you
did or
saying
you
that
don't
once?
know if
So
they
are you
didn't.
telling me? So okay, so how long have apes been on this planet?
I don't fucking know. I don't know.
We look it up. We can look it up. But guess what? These apes been on this planet for a long time, and why
Right.
come today? Why come today they're not changing into humans?
I agree with you, JJ. I'm not saying I
That's
know.
all I'm asking. I'm not trying to come down on you because
No,
if you,
I'm
that's what I'm
just playing
saying.
the devil. I'm playing the devil's
Yeah, yeah,
advocate.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's
Me
all I'm doing.
too. Me too. I'm just throwing it out there for the audience and for Unc that you're listening. Unc, next time you tell me and you say they split or anybody is saying something split, like I split from my family. I'm on the west. I'm on the west west part of kind of west. Karima's on the west coast. Now, if she got family on the east coast of America, is a change gonna happen over time as generations, like 18 generations of families? Are they gonna turn into something else, or are they still gonna be humans?
They'll still be humans.
So where the split? Okay, so why are we talking about a split then?
But look, who's to say that there may not be a mutation though?
A mutation can. So you're saying a mutation can change a ape into a human?
You said that. Did I say that? Did you hear Jay Snake say that? Anybody in the audience? Y'all hear me say that? Or did you hear JJ say that? I never said that, bro.
What do? Okay, then y'all say we had a common ancestor. They split, and there was a common ancestor. Who's the common ancestor in the split? That's all I'm asking. It's a lot of questions, bro. But like I say, it's been a me. I feel that we did a lot because the whole topic was about using science. These people, these Charles Darwins and Francis, what's his name, Blumenbach and Gall and Linnaeus, and then today, all these people came up with these ideologies of trying to prove that they were more superior than the black man. That's what it all boiled down to. That's what it all boiled down to, ladies and gentlemen. And so they're using this as a way to justify colonialism, slavery, discrimination, all of that. To say that without us, you guys would be savages. You see? And we're going to keep our foot on your neck. We're waiting for your response video, which we know you're not going to do. Are you? Karima, if anybody else don't want to speak, we can get up out of here. Karima, you can't show none of your work, some of your AI work, or you can get flagged for that. I like that's a good way of showing. Yeah, why don't you show a little bit of that? I can't hear you. Oh,
I
because
mean,
it's like movie. Yeah.
it'll get copyright. I already got one playing
Yeah.
Hills.
Oh man, man, the folks always want to copyright something, man. God damn, we just showing something, man. Shit. But anyway, okay, so like I said, y'all, I want y'all to think about this. They say that one monkey chimp went right all the way to the end of all the way. I don't even know if it's proof that the monkey chimps migrated all the way over to goddamn East Africa, and one of them went to the West. That's as far as they can go. And it's still hot in the motherfucker. So one of them went okay, look, they got zoos over in West Africa, over there. And that monkey still look like a monkey. They got zoos in the East Africa, but they split, y'all. We gonna take two monkeys from the same family. Okay, look, hey family, I'm gonna take this one to East Africa, right? And let them go over here and meet, you know, two. I'm gonna have four monkeys, right? Well, four apes, or whatever you want to call it. Boy, a man and a woman and a boy and girl ape, whatever they call it. I don't know what they call. What do they call it? Female and male, right? Take them all the way to East Africa. They're gonna have all kind of kids. They're gonna have for the next 300, 400 years, right? Then I'm gonna take two, a male and a female ape, and place them on in West Africa, right? And they're gonna have babies and babies and babies. Are you what? I mean, just common sense. Do you actually think they're gonna turn into another species because of the weather? And then over there, because they couldn't swim across. So that split thing don't work well with me. That's all I'm saying. It really don't work well. And that's all I'm saying. Don't work well with me. It's just a theory. And that's just what it is. So with that being said, Karima, we can get up out of here. Maybe tomorrow, we just to have it recorded on our channel. I can get the Chief X video just in case Sarnetta, go through another thing where he had to take his videos down. We'll have it in our archives. You know what I mean? So maybe I can show that ass whooping the Chief X got. And yeah, we're gonna do that. And then we got some other stuff coming up. Silk, I don't know, bro. You're gonna have to look. You had me track down Anonymous Hebrew. You had me track him down. It took me 4 days to find him on one of these panels. I get him over here in the back chat, and the way to engage with somebody you want to debate, you was calling them cowards and all that type of stuff. He was there to set up the debate. So you got to be more cordial, and then when you get them in the ring, then you do all that. But I still wouldn't be calling people cowards and shouldn't debate. I don't do that. Who else? Oh, King Seth. We're gonna get King Seth. I'm taking him over there so he can call out Judah Nazareth, because Judah's running around here. Kareem, we know goddamn well Judah canceled twice. He canceled with me, and then he ran to King Seth. And then he canceled on that time I was going to rig the debate. That is Judah M.O. To say that somebody's going to rig the debate on him. Just like he still thinks that he's a Lions Den champion when no one got damn well to who he spanked that ass. Belt to ass, bro. It is what it is. And then you blame us. But the crazy part, there were 3 judges on there. We had 5 judges. 3 of them were either believing in some kind of creator. One of them was an atheist and the other one was a truth seeker. It was 2-2. The last judge was a Hebrew Israelite, Jason Sosa. Evidently, Jason's not biased. You just put on a poor performance. So you're not the Lions Den champion. And how the hell you gonna talk about you took King Seth belt and talking about King Seth ran when you did? And Jeremiah, if you out there listening, bro, you ain't even on my level. I don't know why you come on my page trolling me, telling somebody running from me, because I done came over there 7 times and said, let's set the debate right now. Let's go. Let's do it tomorrow. And you make it, oh, well, JJ, you're not gonna tell me when to debate now. So, bro, just stop acting like somebody's running from you and stop trolling, bro. Because when I give you that opportunity, you making an excuse. Judah Knives is making an excuse. Unc West makes an excuse. Cedric had heart. Cedric get in the ring with you. But the rest of y'all, Juju, you made an excuse. So, like I said, Apollo must have fell asleep. I kind of wanted to hear his word, but it's all good. So, Kareem, let's go ahead and get up out of here with a song. And like I say, y'all, hey, pay attention to what's going on. Scientific racism is real. Like I said, they were doing experiments on us, seeing how gonorrhea would affect us. And they acting like they was trying to cure these people and they wasn't doing. These people are wicked. And they're trying to eradicate us. That's the whole thing about this scientific racism. And when you talk about scientific racism, then they come up with the evolution, because these are not God-fearing or they don't believe it's a creator. We're not built like that. We come from people who have a spirit, who believe we have a soul. Atheists don't believe that shit. So yeah, thank y'all for watching. I hope y'all took notes. Peace and blessings. I love y'all. All right, Kramer, we can get up out of here. Thank you.
I'll praise you, Most High. Yeah, that sound good, y'all. Hello. What we doing?
Hey, cook that up, Khalid.
We still getting to the money, got these haters in they field. Lil' homie, let them chill. Most I told me, vengeance hit my enemies, my footstools. We ain't got no beef for real. Fuck this here, this how we live. Look here, homie, we still getting to the money, got these haters in they field. Lil' homie, let them chill. Most I told me, vengeance hit my enemies, my footstools. We ain't got no beef for real. Fuck this here, this how we live. Look here, homie, be still. They said you got the call, they trying to blackball you. Like what they own, bro. You can't blackball a boss. The whole world, they hate this right here. The way you hate your neighbor, might as well pull the trigger on yourself. You know we get excited by the smoke. Every day we catching flesh. Say my treasure stored in heaven, we gon' blow the rest. They disrespecting and we check the bank that causing kept it still. They asking others about my business, but I ain't got no instant miss. See, I still deal with ox direct. Cause your person don't mean you respect. Your outlet don't get no credit if the ox ain't in it. Money answer all things and you got all these questions. Playing Vic. Look, I employ slavery. I'll if you broke, just say it. Yeah, them crews in the hood, Jews in the hood. I caught them clues, now I'm good. I broke it down, he understood my all to you. Filtered through, you found a few, I'm good. We what we sold, this here exclusive. They like, hey, folk, look what you doing. We still getting to the money, got these haters in they field. Lil' homie, let them chill. Most I told me, vengeance hit my enemies, my footstools. We ain't got no beef for real. Fuck this here, this how we live. Look here, homie, we still getting to the money, got these haters in they field. Lil' homie, let them chill. Most I told me, vengeance hit my enemies, my footstools. We ain't got no beef for real. Fuck this here, this how we live. Look here, homie, be still. Most I told me, be still, give a room to work. Know my movie work. Your faith ain't good, don't put the work in. In the spirit flexing, that my day job. Getting the mode out my own, I don't know what they are. Before I got the blueprint, and I'm too legit to quit. Let it spark in the dark, be a light, got it lit. Trying to map my movement, got my haters pondering. The odds set the question there, they wanna know if you still lit. It hit different, you authentic, a lot of odds pretending. We do it for the Lord, got my own motion, who are you to judge? The most high first, none above. In the spirit we locked in, they'll come against your plot. You know Judas said, yeah, we spit them scripts, they barely now. Came on slave ships, then you not black. You know they tell you everything. Isaiah 30:20, yeah, we bad. You see what happened when they tried to rail the train up off the track. False witness, hypocrite. We throw shots back, now they feel hit. Must go get it. We still getting to the money, got these haters in they field. Lil' homie, let them chill. Most I told me, vengeance hit my enemies, my footstools. We ain't got no beef for real. Fuck this here, this how we live. Look here, homie, we still getting to the money, got these haters in they field. Lil' homie, let them chill. Most I told me, vengeance hit my enemies, my footstools. We ain't got no beef for real. Fuck this here, this how we live. Look here, homie, be still.